We're live.
Hey, we're live.
We finally committed to doing what we've been talking about doing for years,
Yeah,
or
no,
for at least a year.
yeah. I was talking to Gabby in her office yesterday, and she's like, "I can't believe you guys are naming this podcast after the name I suggested." I was like, "Well, you finally gave us the push we needed.
Yeah,
Like, it was a catchy name. It was like, yeah, let's do this. Let's
I
go."
don't even know when that started or why she started doing it, but
This,
it works,
yeah, it's probably something
dude.
to do with Matt and his problems.
Oh, I don't know nothing about that. Speaking of problems, though, I fucked my back up
Oh yeah,
catastrophically.
how so?
Uh, I was lifting like sheets of half-inch plywood, like up above my head,
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, like screwing through them into concrete.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt fine after work. I like hung upside down on my inversion table, and then the next morning, like I just couldn't move without like it felt like somebody was stabbing me in the ass with an electric cattle prod,
Hmm.
and it just never went away. It's just
Interesting.
been there the whole time.
I used to uh I used to have really bad lower back pain. Like I would have days where I would just like I go to get out of bed and my legs just buckle underneath me. It was just like I have like paralyzed from the waist down. But then I went to physical therapy for like 3 months, I think. And yeah, haven't really had a problem since.
Yeah, that doesn't happen to me. It's just like excruciating pain that
Mm-hmm.
limits me from movement. It's just like it feels like I'm being electrocuted, and I
Ugh.
just and like if I sometimes I'll just sneeze when I'm laying in bed, and it wakes me up because I'm just like fuck.
Yeah.
It's been hell for the past like 3 or 4 days, and I start a
Oof.
new job on Tuesday.
The
I,
the one at the spa?
the pool place,
The
yeah,
pool place? Oh,
and
I thought you already started.
I did technically.
It was just
I went
training.
on one of my days off for training,
Gotcha.
and then but I start Tuesday or Wednesday.
Are
I
you
ordered a goddamn yoga ball
are you still
to
gonna be
try and.
working part time at Adventures, or are you quitting that?
Well, yeah, it's gonna be like on call, need to build or fix some shit. Because let's be real, I want that discount.
Yeah.
25% off all this gaming shit is it's good. It's dope.
I should talk to you whenever I want to buy something from there because
I tell everybody that.
yeah, I've
Just let me
never
know.
even considered it.
Just give me. I mean, as far as I know, 25% off is better than most places you can find, even like Amazon for
Yeah.
that type of shit. You just got to give me the money. Well done. Some people, like Jamie, I told her that. I was like, listen, if you're going to buy some paint, just let me know. And I'm ringing people out at the cash register. And I'm not supposed to do this, by the way. I
Hmm.
don't suspect they'll find out. And if they do, I don't really care.
I mean,
But
you're streaming it live on the internet, but
yeah, yeah, I don't care. And fucking, I told Jamie, I'm going to tell her about this podcast too. She just like gathers up all the paint and then comes up to me and sets it down and just kind of pushes it towards me. And she's like, how do we do this? And I'm like,
like it's a
we're not
fucking
gonna,
drug deal.
yeah,
Like,
I'm like, we're not gonna fucking do it right now. Just let's put it aside and give me your cash.
mhm.
She's like, she didn't know what to fucking do.
It's like we're doing
Yeah,
something illegal. It's not okay.
yeah, for real. That place is pretty dope though. As far as the job goes, I mean, you don't get paid very much, but I wouldn't even consider it really a job. It's just a place that I go
You just
hang
kind of
out
hang out for a certain
and
amount
get
of time,
paid
and
to hang out there
yeah,
until I gotta like build a stage or lift sheets of plywood above my head. After like, and that I think the reason why it was so bad was I had done nothing for 3 weeks because I kept testing positive for COVID. So I was
hmm,
just sitting around my house all fucking day, not doing shit. And then I show up to work and I'm just like shoulder pressing these things up on the wall.
yeah. I checked my mail today, and I had a package that I didn't get an email about. I didn't get any delivery notification. I was just like, I don't know what this is, and I opened it up, and it is more home COVID tests because like the
Okay.
USPS did their thing where they were giving
Oh
out five of
yeah,
them,
yeah.
and then like the next day, Washington was like, "Oh, our state's doing this thing where you can get them," and so I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'll request some more." And then yeah, so now I have four, six, eight home COVID tests just in a shelf on a shelf. If you need a COVID test, let me know.
All right. I don't think I'm ever gonna need one at this new job. They they do not seem to give a fuck.
Well, I already told you this, but now I've got that hybrid immunity, so I'm basically invincible now. at least for
Yeah.
a short amount of time,
Hopefully.
or maybe a sort of long amount of time. I don't know.
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
Well, I mean, who knows what the fuck's actually going on? But I had read a study from some university. I don't even remember the name, where they were saying that once you get it, it's like at least a year.
It's
I mean, they haven't been able to test it that long, but they were saying for at least a year, you're pretty solid.
not true. Um,
Yeah, so
Dawn,
that's what I'm saying. I don't know.
yeah, Dawn got it in June, and then she got it again in January.
Yeah, but
So,
were those different variants? Does that have
oh, I
anything to do
mean,
with
yeah,
it?
it was different variants because there was enough time passed in between. Like we're pretty sure we got Delta. In June, Delta wasn't even a thing. So,
Yeah. I took my sister to the ER, and we thought it was the new one, Omicron,
mhm.
but the doctors there say that they can't test for it. So like 80% of the people who have Omicron apparently don't pop positive.
uh,
But I mean, I'm just trying to
hmm.
think about that. Anyways, they say that it's probably Delta because we all tested positive for it like every single time.
Yeah, I think mine was Delta just because I lost my taste, and apparently, like, there's a really low percentage of the taste and smell thing with Omicron. So,
Hmm. I actually that was one of the first things that I was like paying attention to because I was just intrigued by that phenomenon happening.
hmm.
So I was like, nope, I can smell that. What happened to me was I lost like ambient smelling. So
Hmm.
if it was just in the air around me, I couldn't smell it, which was really nice.
Well, I mean, with your
Uh,
dog farting all the time, it was probably just.
yeah, especially my dog farting, among other things that I won't talk about. But
Mhm.
I could just pick it up and smell it, and I didn't really lose my taste at
You
all.
had focused smelling.
Yeah, and it was kind of nice, you know. I don't like most of the time the room is neutral smelling at best, I guess, but yeah, the taste was muted kind of, but I didn't really notice it that much.
I'm still only at like 30% taste. Like things are really just bland to me. Like I add a fuck ton of salt to things now, just to feel.
I was told by somebody who lost it completely for months that eventually what they did was they would get things that they knew would taste a certain way
Hmm.
and they would train themselves to taste it.
Hmm.
They would like taste it and then they would just like focus on it.
So they would
And
do.
eventually like it retrained their brain to like do it again.
Hmm.
It worked. So I don't
That's.
want to just have high blood pressure from all the salt you're eating.
I mean I eat too much salt anyway, but I had artichokes for dinner last night. That was fucking delicious. Like
I love artichokes.
you ever eat just a plain artichoke where you take the leaves one by one, dip them in butter.
I've never done that. Like I've had canned artichokes where I just eat them.
No, if you take artichokes, like take like two of them, boil them for 30 minutes. Like chop the very top off, and then boil them for 30 minutes. And you can just sit there and pick a leaf off and scoop it in butter, and then like kind of scrape the meaty part off with your teeth, and you just keep kind of doing that. And then
Hmm.
as you get closer to the center, the leaves get better. And then you until you hit the gross like hairy part, and then you just scoop that out with a spoon, and then you got like this delicious base of
Best part.
yeah, it's fucking fantastic. You just sit and eat those things all day, but they're a pain.
I used to have cravings for beans, like green beans.
Green
Like
beans,
I would just get a you know how people crave sugar and
yeah.
beer and shit. I would just be like, and then I would just get a big ass can and just binge
I
it.
I haven't figured out how my grandma used to make green beans, but like when other people make them, they have like this weird kind of like earthy, grassy taste to them that I don't like. But the way she made them, they were just like amazing. I guess I could ask her.
You know, my family, like when I was a kid, I remember eating the food that my family would make. But then as I got older, after having experienced a wider range of food, and I do not descend from a line of great cooks. Let's just
Hmm.
put it that way. It's kind of disappointing. It's probably why I can't cook at all. Like I just never learned.
Hmm.
I
I
can cook. It's not that hard. I can't think of anything just off the top of my head.
yeah. I feel like I just rolled a 10 or rolled a 20 on luck with cooking because a lot of times I'll just like I'll just happen to think, well, I want this specific like component in a meal. Like, oh, this ingredient sounds good. And then I'll just like start looking at my pantry and fridge and shit and just like kind of build a dish around it. And, oh,
Yeah, I can't do that.
but I grew up thinking steaks were bad. I grew up like my entire childhood. I was like, oh, steaks are gross. I hate steaks because my grandma would consistently like make her steaks like extra well done, and so you'd be
Oh,
like sitting there like trying to chew on them and just be like, and it'd feel like whenever you eat jerky and there's that one little piece that kind of won't chew up and it feels like you're chewing gum, but it's meat. That was like the entirety of steaks.
yeah. I never really had good steaks growing up, but I
Yeah.
never really had bad steaks either. It wasn't until a buddy of mine's girlfriend, whom I despised, the dumbest person I've ever met in my entire life. I think I've told you this before,
Mm-hmm.
but I was over one day bullshitting with him, and she was there, and she goes, "You want a steak?" And I was like, "Sure, why not?" And it was orgasmic. It was the one of the best things I've ever eaten in my entire life, and
Yeah.
nothing has ever compared to
To
it since.
yeah, that was my experience as well. As went over to my friend Zach's house over in Pasco for Father's Day because his dad was having a cookout, and his dad grilled up some steaks and slapped one down on a plate in front of me, and it was the best goddamn steak I've ever had. I've never had a better one. Like it was just
Yeah,
absolutely out of this world.
I remember telling my friend to shut the fuck up so I could enjoy the steak. I remember just being like, "Oh, God." And then, yeah, she did it again once, but it wasn't the same. I don't know what the fuck. Maybe it was the steak she had bought.
Hmm.
I don't know, but it was perfect. And she just threw one of those like cast iron griddles on the electric stovetop and cooked them.
Actually, I've probably had a steak that was comparable to that, and it was at Sherry's. They did a thing
Mm.
during the fall while they were doing like a prime rib, uh, and you could either get it herb crusted or blackened. And I got mine herb crusted, and while they were still doing that special, I probably got it like 5 or 6 times, but the first one was definitely by far the best.
Man,
And
I miss Sherry's.
I also miss Sherry's.
God damn it.
I was disappointed whenever they stopped being open all night, and then I was extremely disappointed whenever they closed down. Because, like,
Yeah, dude, and it came out of nowhere too. I just
yeah,
assumed they were fine, but fuck.
you ever
Dude,
go
their
to
stuffed hash browns were fucking amazing.
you ever go to the Three Flames Mongolian?
No,
No,
I've never been there.
the pandemic killed that place too. Like,
Everyone said it was good, but I
it was
never
delicious.
went. See, food around here is just hard to come by, I think. Or at least good food is hard to come by around here.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you've been around the country, so you know there's other things. But
Mm-hmm.
down in San Diego, it's like I've been lied to my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Eating here and then going down there trying real Mexican food and then coming back up.
Okay, so funny thing about Mexican food. And I had the same experience because I grew up in Arizona. We had the best Mexican food in the goddamn world. Except for maybe in Mexico. I don't know. I haven't been there. But
I think just anywhere right along the border is just the best food, Mexican
well,
food you can
so
find.
here's the thing. Is there's apparently this phenomenon where if someone immigrates from Mexico to the United States, people who immigrate from northern Mexico
Yeah, I
tend
told
to
you about this.
stay. Yeah, I think you told me this. Yeah,
Yeah, I did.
tend to stay in the southern United States, and then southern Mexicans immigrate to the northern
I'm
United
up.
States.
Yeah, up here to the northern
So
side.
yeah, so we have it's two entirely different kinds of food.
It is.
And yeah, like southern or I guess northern
Northern
Mexican
Mexican food
food is fucking
is better.
amazing. It
It's
is just
fucking
better in
amazing.
every conceivable way.
Any back alley like taco stand
Mm-hmm.
in San Diego was better than anything here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, don't get me wrong. You've been to Three Margaritas and Isla Bonita or
Yeah.
Isla Bonita. Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
It's really good,
My
but
favorite's actually El
it's not like
Portone.
a dirty California burrito.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this fucking big.
Yeah.
Oh, I miss those.
Yeah,
I
my
don't miss
favorite's
the aftermath, but I miss them.
probably the closest thing I've found to Arizona Mexican food is El Portone over by Fred Meyer. It's
Oh,
like
is that
right
right
by
across the street from it?
it's right by Roasters, in that little back area where there's like the vision clinic and the child's dentist, and
Like
it's like
Fred Meyer's.
okay, so Fred Meyer's on your right, you're on Welshon Way, and you're at that light where you could go
Yeah.
right to go onto the freeway. If you go left instead, there's like a little
Oh.
parking lot you can turn right into,
Yeah.
and then
Okay,
yeah,
well.
yeah,
Man, there used to be it's like that cursed building behind it's that back road by Subway. You know what I'm talking about? So like you're going
yes,
towards, yeah. There's
It's
a
a
building that there used to be a Mexican place in there called No Way Jose's.
it's Pacific Pasta and Grill or something like that now.
It's been like 6 or 7 different things
Hmm.
because it's in such a shitty spot. I don't even look at that building anymore when I go past it.
I don't recommend Pacific Pasta and Grill, by the way. I've eaten there 3 times and every time it's been disappointing.
Did you eat at Apollo's yet? The
Uh,
Greek-
wait, Apollo's.
it's
No.
right in that area.
Yeah, no, I know where. Not for a while. I ate there a few years ago.
It's not that great.
No, it's not.
I ordered a gyro from there, and it was like a tiny little panini with like a pound of just meat in it.
Yeah, if you're gonna get a gyro, go to Kebab House, which is now called Zuli.
Greek
on
Islands, dude.
Queensgate.
That's my favorite. That I can't wait.
I would have to compare Greek Islands and Kebab House side by side to decide which one's better because I know they're both delicious.
I've never been to Kebab House. Where's that at?
It's right next to KFC on Queensgate. Panera Bread.
On Queen? Oh, up there, yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the old place for some reason.
Yeah, no, you go across the bridge. It's just like KFC's on your right. It's just right the next immediate building.
Yeah. So when are we gonna go to the range?
I don't know, man. I still want to fire that 4570.
I want to fire that 4570 before
Although-
the rounds go bad.
I was gonna say, although I'm slightly afraid of the bullets and their integrity. Questionable
Well, the
at
bullets
best.
will be fine. It's the gun you need to worry about, but that gun was a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be honest with you. I was expecting something bigger.
I still haven't even gotten to fire my 9mm.
Yeah, I mean, do you even have any 9mm?
I have like 4
Because-
boxes.
I have a buddy of mine who wants to get a gun,
Mm-hmm.
and as soon as the Fred Meyer incident happened, he was like, "Hey, man, I'm going to buy a gun. What should I get?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Well, one that you can get ammo for, because right now, I mean, it's been that way for a long time, but can't find shit."
Is 9mm still critically unavailable?
Yeah, he can't find any. I can't find any. Every once in a while, Ace gets a box in the case, and they're restricting it to like 5 per person now instead of 2, just to kind of keep it from disappearing off the shelf.
Is this why everybody was getting so upset whenever I was really into that 9mm automatic rifle in Tarkov? Is because they were like, "You're wasting so much money."
Yeah, pretty much.
You can see the numbers in your
Slipping-
bank account going down as you're pulling the
Slipping through your
trigger.
fingers. Yeah, it's getting ridiculous. I bought a bunch of bullets,
Mhm.
and I don't want to shoot it. Like, I just want to go out and just like make sure they still work and shit, but I don't
Mhm.
want to. You have to, like, I want to get a reloading kit, but I think it's too late for that. I think that those are pretty hard to find. Man, I'm disappointed no one else showed up. What the fuck?
we could ping him.
Yeah, ping 'em. Get their asses in here.
What was I gonna say?
Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. Have
hold
you
on.
been hearing about all that crazy shit with the new Lord of the Rings stuff?
No, but before we change topics, I was reading an argument about gun control in Reddit comments, and somebody made a joke about like the government wants us to have 1-round magazines or something like that. And I was like, can you imagine having to pull a mag out, put a single bullet into it, put it back in,
Yeah, no.
rather than just having a gun that's just a single loader?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I keep telling people that with that 4570, I'm absolutely set in case a flock of bison decide to
Yeah,
attack
need to
my
kill an
second floor
elk.
apartment.
you find the elusive short-nosed bear that apparently some people say exists still.
They call them
Have you heard of-
they call them stare bears. That's why second floors are particularly vulnerable.
No, fucking. Apparently, some people believe that in like Canada, do you know what a short-nosed bear is?
No, I've never heard. I've never.
It's like
heard
it was a megafauna bear that existed here during the Ice Age. It's
Hmm.
like 10 feet tall when it's just on all fours.
I
But
see.
people say that they have seen them, which I don't believe at all, but I think it's kind of neat. No, dude, that fucking. I'm not going to be. I know that I'm not going to like the movie or the show. But
I'm gonna watch it,
People
with
are going ape shit about it.
yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch it. I don't know if I'm gonna like it or not. It could go either way.
I'm a hardcore Tolkien fanatic, and I have been ever since I can remember because I've been reading. I read The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings once every year, and it's been like 30 some odd years. No,
I couldn't
30.
read Lord of the
Like,
Rings.
it's
It was too dry.
chunky. It's very dry. It's like just a long ass poem.
And this is coming from somebody who read all 14 books from Wheel of Time. I mean, it
No,
took me like 3.5 years,
but the lore and everything about it, like I think there's like one thing you just don't fuck with too
Mhm.
much. I mean, Lord of
What?
the Rings was a cinematic masterpiece. There were some things they
Yes.
changed, but it was still fucking great.
What specifically are you talking about that you don't fuck with?
Everything, the
Oh, okay.
characters,
I got it. I misunderstood your
yeah,
sentence. I thought you were saying in Lord of the Rings there's a specific thing that you don't fuck with, but
yeah. So Galadriel is now Battle Galadriel. She is uh the leader of an entire army, and
doesn't
she's
this
wearing like full plate.
doesn't this take place in the past?
Yeah, it takes 2,000 years ago.
Yeah, I thought it happened like I thought the teaser they released happened like in the Undying Lands, and everybody was like, "What the fuck?" Like,
Well, the thing is they're just making shit up. They're taking some of the events that happened during like the appendices,
mm-hmm.
and they're just which happened over 2,000 years, and they're shrinking them all down into like one point in time. And they legally weren't supposed to change any of the characters, but they're adding a bunch of fucking characters. It's just the basically the world's top Tolkien scholar, they just kicked him out. They just said they made up some excuse why he couldn't be there anymore, and they kicked him out.
Well, that's stupid.
Yeah, and I think they've already spent like $1 billion on that show already.
That's like that's stupidity on par with whenever they what was his name? Uh the composer for Halo, like that whole debacle.
What do you mean?
Martin O'Donnell composed the music for Halo, and
Yeah,
Bungie slash Microsoft like just completely did him dirty. Like apparently he's like a total dickhead in real life. Nobody likes him
Mhm.
anyway, but yeah, they've apparently haven't paid him royalties for like 10 years or something like that, and they kicked him off the project and told him he didn't have any of the rights to the music and all sorts of other crazy shit.
Why you be nice to people?
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, man, maybe he's a dick, but the Halo theme's really good.
It is really good.
Halo music in general, very solid music.
I mean, the first three were masterpieces.
Reach was
After that,
the best one.
I never played Reach.
Reach was
That was
more
when I
than a
migrated off
masterpiece.
console into PC realm, and I just stayed there.
Yeah. I would recommend it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm planning on playing it eventually. I just have so much shit, and I'm
Like Zenith.
Yeah, it's definitely. I'm picking it up when it goes on sale.
I got my
That's what I'm
replacement head strap and I got my replacement face piece for my Oculus, and oh my god, it's like a totally different experience.
It's like nothing was even there, or
It's like a soft, squishy leather piece now instead of this
Mm.
like abrasive, like
Yeah.
cloth thing, foam thing.
fucking absorbent material.
Yeah.
I should show you my. This thing has been well used. It
Yeah.
has seen some shit.
You still have the
I've
stock
dropped-
strap on there, don't you?
Yeah, I've dropped this thing like I don't know how many goddamn times. I've had to wash this the face part
Mhm.
so many times it's disintegrating.
Yeah, let me go get mine. One sec.
I will keep everybody entertained. Wait, is anybody even watching this? Let me see here. No, no one's watching this. Am I even logged into Twitch?
So
We got to get some like royalty-free music we can play in the background too.
yeah, we do. So yeah, this piece like goes on like the top of your head kind of, and so it takes the weight off of your face, and particularly like the headset doesn't rest on your cheekbones, which is horrifically uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And the like this squishy leather bit right here.
How long does the
it,
battery last on that thing?
4 or 5 hours. It's pretty good. Like way longer than I would play a VR game.
Yeah.
But
For real. Oh, I gotta get mine all hooked back up and shit.
yeah, it just kind of sits like that, and
We
like
should
all the
just do a
weight is on the
podcast
forehead and the top of the
in
head,
VR.
and so yeah, it's night and day difference. Like the stock headset hardware here is absolute shit.
Yeah.
Um,
No, they gotta
this
cut costs somewhere.
yeah, this as is way more
Perfection.
comfortable than like a battery and a TV screen that fits on your face.
I am thinking about waiting for the next one and picking that up. I really enjoyed the Vive, and the controllers are great, but everything that comes attached to it is
Mhm.
kind of a pain in the ass to deal with. Not gonna lie. The idea of being able to just pop it on my head and go is very appealing. We should do one of these in VR somehow. We should do it in the metaverse
Yeah, that'd be something.
and just fuck with people.
Um,
Um,
the the freedom of having a self-contained VR headset is my favorite thing.
mhm.
Like I can even do like wireless link with Steam VR from the living room, and it stutters every once in a while, but for the most part it's really stable. Like I can play Half-Life Alyx wireless in my living room
Damn,
from my computer, and it is my
that's
dream.
kind of cool.
It's my dream to one day set up the guard, like go like just have an entire like basketball court, like indoor basketball court to myself, and just like draw the barrier around like the whole ass thing, and just
Yeah.
I don't know. I
you
don't know
watch
if there's a like an upper limit to how big you can make your guardian boundary, but
Can you just turn it off?
I mean you can, but I would
'Cause
eventually run into walls.
I
right?
know Vive will. You can just turn it off. Just get a little string or something and wrap it around the edge where you don't want it to. I don't know.
Practical solutions.
So people come up with some pretty creative shit. I just break shit. even in an open place, playing something like Gorn is still dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck was I just gonna say? I can't remember.
You did want to. Oh wait, no, we already talked about Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, the shit show. Epic shit show.
Epic shit show.
Like so epic that they've already like made or are making the like 6 seasons or some shit.
It's kind of interesting that the Wheel of Time they said, yeah, we're gonna do all 14 books, like full stop. We're not gonna cut this shit down. Like it's with this everything goes. Kind of surprised me.
Yeah. So a couple of people I know who are hardcore fans of it said that the show was kind of meh.
It
Like
was
not very good, but okay.
I would give it a 6.5 out of 10.
Mm.
It was worth watching. As a reader of the books, there were things about it that bothered me. Particularly because in the books, well, there's three major things, and one of them was being the forced racial diversity. It's like the world of the Wheel of Time is massive, and you have every opportunity to have any race you want because they travel all around the whole freaking world. But instead, you have this like backwater mountain town that should have a relatively homogenous population because it's way up in the mountains and people don't come or go. Everybody
Yeah.
should look the same. Like it's just
Yeah.
that's how demographics work. But instead, it's like you have like a smorgasbord of every possible race in like this town that has like maybe 50 people in it, and has for years.
That's one of the big complaints about what is looking to shape up for this Rings of Power thing, because it's
Mhm.
like it's always been a homogenous. I mean, it was essentially him trying to make like a history or a myth for England,
Mm-hmm.
Anglo-Saxon stuff.
Yeah.
And then, all the stuffs, all the movies, everything from this point has been white people. And then all of a sudden in this one, it's like there are all these others, people of color, I guess you could call them, just thrown into everything. But it's like somebody brought up a great point, because there was like, there's plenty of other opportunities for them to add representation in without doing that, I guess you could say, because there's like the Haradrim in the East, and you can have them be them. It's like,
yeah, there's this
it doesn't
sprawling
make any
fantasy
fucking
world.
sense It doesn't fucking make any sense that there's like a black elf.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where did he come from?
Yeah.
Did he come from a white elf? It's just like questions like that. That's just like it
Yeah.
causes me to be like,
It ruins your suspension of disbelief because it's like
pretty
that's just
much.
not how this works. Like,
Yeah, I'm having to imagine like where did they come from, all
Mhm.
that shit. And then of course, I think part of that they're betting on it is the outrage generated from it because they're already like
publicity.
pumping out. Yeah, they're already like, oh, just a bunch of racists,
Yeah.
fucking don't like it.
Yeah, so the forced diversity is the first thing that bothered me. Second thing that bothered me was the characters. Several of the characters are very not who they were in the books. Like the witch and her bodyguard show up at the tavern in the very first episode, and in the book they were incognito. It was like we're just normal travelers. Nobody knows who we are. Like we're just being super low key about this, and then freaking in the show they like fucking throw open the doors and there's a storm going on outside, and then they just stroll into the tavern like looking it around, just like side-eyeing everybody, just being all like having a huge presence. They leave the doors open like a couple of fucking animals. It's fucking raining outside. Close the door. Like, do you have basic decency?
Right.
And then somebody sees like the ring she's wearing and they immediately know who they are, and it's just like this is like the Dumbledore Harry Potter fucking Goblet of Fire scene all over again. It's absolutely not what happened in the book.
Yeah. And I don't know why people do that. It's like they think that what they
It's got to
think
be
is
more
better.
dramatic. Like,
I don't know. I can't imagine. It's just dumb people thinking that the stuff that they're trying to do isn't dumb. And that's
Yeah.
why Game of Thrones was such a goddamn huge cultural phenomenon, because it was, the first 4 seasons anyways, very much better than anything I've ever seen before as an adaptation of writing.
mhm.
Just everything was just boom boom. You could like read the book along with the
Yeah.
show.
The
It
first
was
four
so goddamn
seasons of
good.
Game of Thrones were fucking bangers. Like,
Yeah, they was amazing.
yeah, everyone was
then-
so emotionally invested. Like, whenever Ned died, like that destroyed the internet. Like, I was upset after watching that episode. I
The
just
Red
sat there and was
Wedding-
like, God damn it.
Made me very upset.
Yeah, because
like-
by that
yeah.
point in the story, you're rooting for fucking Robb Stark. You're just like, yeah, that's my king. Hashtag
Yeah,
King of the North.
seriously. And I remember watching it for the first time, and I hadn't really had any spoilers or anything at the time, but I remember watching it in my barracks room, going, or it wasn't my barracks room, I don't know, wherever I saw it, going like, oh fuck, something really, really bad is gonna happen. I can just feel it. And it was goddamn awful. That show died with Tywin on the toilet. Because apparently the 5th season, the book had come out as they were making it, or like some shit. So they had all the material that they needed to continue with the story, but they willingly chose not to. And everything, like, it's not so obvious to people who haven't read the books, but everything just started getting fucking just, all the characters were wrong. Like, you know, Barristan Selmy, the knight who went over to help Daenerys. Did you ever watch the show?
Yeah.
Okay. So in the books, he's still alive, and he's currently
He was the one who died of like the weird petrification scaly virus thing,
he
right?
died in the sewer basically for no reason.
Thinking of
Like
somebody else.
he was fighting the Brotherhood of the Harpies,
Mm-hmm.
and he just unceremoniously just got killed off. But in the books, he's incognito for a while. He goes by a different name until they finally figure out who he is. But in the siege of Meereen, when Daenerys eventually comes back with her dragons,
Mhm.
that hasn't happened yet in the books. And when she left after the whole arena debacle, he took charge of the city and has been very intelligently, and like he knows what he's doing, running the city. And he's currently getting ready to lead a cavalry charge out of the city. And then the book is that's actually like a released chapter from the new book that we may never see. Winds of Winter. But fuck, man. And I think the reason why he hasn't come out with any of his books is because he's burnt so bad on how badly they fucked it up, that he doesn't want to. He wants to give it some time before he publishes it so that it's not associated with that shit show.
I'm gonna change something with the way I'm streaming this real quick.
Changing something.
Why can't I do a pop-out window?
Oh. Oh, hey. Ethan's in the thing.
Yeah.
Are you still watching? I don't know, man. You can come in if you want, but
Yeah.
I didn't think that you wanted to.
As soon as I fix this, I'm gonna bring him in.
Who's Thalmus? Do you know Thalmus?
Thalmus is Marshall.
Oh.
He's
How does darkness feel?
darkness.
He says darkness envelops me.
Marshall says that?
Yeah.
Oh.
In the chat. You blind?
I wasn't reading the chat. It's in my description that I don't read the chat.
So yeah, in my defense, I talked to Ethan and he came up with, he doesn't want to expose himself to the internet because of his cybersecurity shit. So I was like, okay. That sounds like a no to me.
Window capture. Let's capture this one. There we go. Okay. Here. I'll add Ethan's permission to get in here.
Get him in here. You better have a fucking camera.
I didn't think about this.
I finally went to his house.
Miles is probably at work.
Yeah, I figured.
Oh, you finally went to Ethan's house up in Benton City?
Kind of up there just on a hill.
Yep.
Big old front yard. I was like, neat. Thorin ran around a little bit, and I left. He's like, yeah, not really much to do out here. I was like, I see that. We should just do what a whole bunch of other YouTubers do and just create drama and talk about drama and get people to watch us that way. Subtly make fun of everyone else doing it, though.
All right. Done.
Isn't it easier to just use the computer right in front of you?
No, because I'm streaming my Discord window.
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense. I do not have that problem. Cool, we can talk about fucking he does.
There he is.
Look at that guy.
Oh my god, I gotta mute the stream. Holy shit. Okay, there we go.
What's up?
I just got back from hot dogs with my friend who I'm not gonna name him, but he's got just the worst kid. I said that I wasn't gonna hang out with him if he brought his kid along. He said okay, fine.
And then he brought his kid along anyway.
And then he fucking brought his kid along anyways. And yeah, yeah, don't say that.
I'm not going to.
And
it was me. Wasn't
I managed. It was. Yeah. No, I only got kicked twice, punched 3 times, had my ass slapped by a 5-year-old child 3 times, and narrowly avoided my food getting water dumped on it.
You know, some people are into that.
That's not appropriate when we're talking about a child.
I'm sorry. Anywho.
God, great start to a podcast, guys.
Hey, it's in the middle. It's the second wind.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Tell us about your character in Cyberpunk. I want to hear about
it. His name is Viper, and he he's a rocker boy, and he basically looks like Sting. Um, but he's got like a long, like leather coat with like big fucking fur tufts around the. Like you ever see those fur coats that have the
Yeah,
big
yeah.
giant fur thing on? I gotta close the preview of this because the delay is really confusing the shit out of me. Uh, um, he's got like really tight leather pants that are way too low waisted. You know what I mean? Like you could practically see like the top of his dick shaft because they're so low.
Mhm.
Big black boots. His canines, top and bottom, are titanium. Um, and I think I might have him carry a sword.
Why not, dude?
Yeah, just to be fucking weird.
Do
He'll
you,
name
do
it
you,
or.
is he a singer or does he play an instrument?
Oh, he's a singer. He's a singer.
Yeah, that's an easy
I
one
mean,
for me.
he
Just
both.
threw
He
whatever
he
you want.
plays a guitar and he sings.
Okay,
He's very hair metal.
that's dope. Should get
Yeah,
Harley to play in it.
Yeah.
Harley doesn't like anything that doesn't
I don't
that
know,
doesn't have
man.
to do with magic.
I didn't. I felt kind of the same way when I first tried it out when Eric wanted to run it, but I was like, whatever. I'll just give it a shot. And then I was like, wow, this is my favorite RPG, hands
I
down.
I don't think anyone can have a worse introduction to Cyberpunk 2020 than I did. So, and
Oh,
if I got through it,
that was
uh,
fucking hilarious. Let me tell
that
this
was so.
story really
I'm
quick.
I'm interested.
So we were like delivering a package, or we were guarding a drop off or something, and our ship got blown up, and we had to take cover in a like basically a not a s quite a skyscraper, but a pretty tall building under construction. And we apparently garnered the attention of a gang coming up through the tower, so we kicked in a door. I was the combat guy, and there was just a bunch of methed out like homeless squatters in this construction site. And
It's a fiasco.
yeah, I managed to intimidate them into not moving. And I was just like, listen, we just want to wait here for the tide of whatever the fuck's coming up to just pass. Just sit there and everything will be fine. And I rolled a high enough intimidate that they complied. And then I had to go pee. And I went, don't do anything to them. And then I went to the bathroom. And then I don't know what happened while I was in the bathroom, but while I came out of the bathroom, he was like, "Oh, he hits you in the head," and then he's like, "Oh, you're dead." What happened when I was in the bathroom?
I don't remember. You actually remember way more about that than I do. But it was basically like I don't know. Someone said something, and you know how Eric, when he DMs, can be extremely punitive when he just
Yeah.
doesn't like something. It was basically like I think I was just trying to get everyone out into one room, so we could cover them easier. And I started using like my charisma to do that. And he goes, "Yeah, they just opened fire." It's it's and I'm like, okay. And then yeah. And then it was immediately a headshot, and that was the end of it.
And then we had to kill all the homeless people, and then the gang that was chasing us were cannibals apparently, and the fixer managed to fast talk them out of more ultraviolence by suggesting, "Hey, you take these fresh, still warm corpses on the ground, and we'll just leave." And they were like, "Oh, yeah, that's cool." And then we escaped that way. We killed some dogs downstairs or something and got out of it.
Just on the way, they were
As you
there.
do.
Hey, they tried biting me.
Oh, right, self-defense. I thought it
Yeah.
was just,
No. I mean, it's
hey,
kind of
free
far from my
experience.
character,
There's
of
no
course.
experience in this game.
I've got more memories, like hilarious memories from that game than I do anything else. It's just like they designed it to create just insane.
It
crazy shit.
is a clusterfuck. I always tell people when they first play Cyberpunk to do not get invested in your character. In fact, make like 3 of them, like they're going to die. If they don't, that's
Or
amazing.
they're gonna
And
end up
you
in the
win.
hospital and they're gonna be there for months, or they're gonna go to
Yeah.
jail.
That's why it's all my character concepts. I mean, even all tabletop, my character concepts are like you could describe it in like a paragraph or two, and that's it. And then if they stick around, I'll develop it more. But um, especially Cyberpunk, if your characters can die in the very first round that you're able to play from a headshot, then don't fucking write 6 pages of backstory. You're just wasting your time.
I mean, that's kind of how Sam's D&D hardcore game was supposed to be. Like, it was supposed to be like, oh, you're gonna die, and then somehow we all like managed to managed to
But
muddle
you
through.
had a cleric, and that was why that
Yeah.
that worked out, and
You guys
that
managed to keep it alive, but you guys did not. You guys made good judgment calls. I feel like because I reward good judgment calls and punish stupid fucking decisions.
yeah. Well, we did play very carefully. Like there wasn't any stupendously reckless behavior, which in 5e that's generally like what happens is people goes, well, I'm invincible, I'm just gonna throw myself off this cliff and see what happens. Like that's
You'll
that's
probably
how people
survive.
play 5th edition, because you will probably survive.
The
Someone
only,
will just like upturn a health potion into your mouth and you're good to go.
the only stupendously reckless behavior was whenever my fucking brainwashing took over and was just like, "Yep, you eat yourself at the monster. Let's go."
Hey man, it worked. Some of the coolest shits that way.
I still remember just my favorite memory I think was destroying the entire illusion in the castle
Mm-hmm.
just by like confronting it directly.
Yeah, it all kind of just came together there at that point.
That whole story was
Honestly,
really, really cool.
I was waiting. I wasn't sure when you guys were going to realize what was going on, and it was only because you purified food and drink that you didn't just get fucked up like everyone else did at the beginning there, because you guys were
Yeah.
basically eating rotten
I
food.
was
and-
extremely suspicious the entire time.
yeah, for good reason.
I was like, wait a minute, everyone's starving everywhere. How do these people have an abundance of food? Something ain't right.
Mm-hmm.
So
That didn't stop. Well, he was jamming out too.
Yeah, I was trying not to get my hands cut off by the king if I stopped playing.
Yeah. No, that was a good one. It's definitely probably one of the highlights.
yeah, hardly remember anything else. I
Yeah,
remember
I
some
mean
of
that was such a high that everything else kind of just
I
was just
remember
normal.
Harley getting eaten by the river snake and then almost immediately dying.
Yeah,
Yeah, that part was pretty funny.
that thing was overpowered. That thing was like a.
No, you just got unlucky. That's how that works. It's just how that works.
I
Like it
mean-
wasn't really that overpowered. It got a crit. You were there. You were squishy. You were level 1. That's what happens.
I mean,
Dude, a kobold
goblin
can get lucky and one-shot you,
kobold
yeah.
can crit you in one shot.
Yeah,
This
So-
one happened to be big enough to eat you.
yeah.
And you were gonna
I
run a
mean,
game there, Harley, but that never happened.
I still have all the materials and stuff that I wrote. I spent 3 days writing stuff for it, but just,
So did Ethan.
Yeah, no shit. Fuck that. That actually pissed me off a lot. I was like, God damn it! Put all
It'll be
this
there.
time into this.
It'll be there eventually.
Yeah.
Well, it's somewhere. It's like dispersed to the winds now. I don't know where all
No.
that shit went.
That's the thing I like about Cyberpunk is that I mean, you can have a campaign, but you can also just have like a series of one-offs. Because that's how Eric did it for us.
Yeah.
You were just one team, and you just took a job each session to go out and do some crazy shit, and some people didn't make it back.
Yep. I've always played like the corpos and solos and whatnot. I wanted to do something totally weird, and then I looked into Rocker Boys. I'm like, actually, these are pretty cool. Like Rocker Boys are hilarious.
The coolest Rocker Boy situation I'd ever been in. I was running a game, kind of based on the Expanse loosely, but not really. And there's like some bioweapon released on the station. They're trying to get off. And the stations are like the huge ones from what do you call it? Fucking spaceship game me and you played, Harley. Elite Dangerous. So they're huge, like cities, and fucking they steal like a military APC, riot control, and there's a crowd of like 1,000 people trying to get to the spaceport to get off, and Martin gets on the loudspeaker and crits twice and actually gives a good speech, because I was like, what are you going to say? And he actually gave a good speech and whipped this crowd into a fucking crazy riot, and they started crashing over the barriers and breaking into anything. And then Dan hit the electronic or like the microwave crowd control cannon that goes everywhere. So instantly they all start like getting fried in the brain. And then Eric drove through them at full speed. How did I describe it? A rooster tail of blood. And it just plowed all through them all, and then used that as a distraction to get on the tarmac.
Yeah, but you
mass
need
murder is a
distracting,
good
yeah.
distraction.
Fair enough.
I did not expect that because I was
Wait,
like,
wait,
wow, you
don't
did a
pay
good job.
attention to the mass murder. That'll distract us from the real crimes.
I was speechless, literally. I was as a DM like that was the coolest thing ever, and then you just did that. Yeah,
Uh,
only Cyberpunk.
I'm sure his
Ultraviolence.
character was named after weed or something.
No, he was this. Oh well, yeah, he was this Jamaican guy, and he would just do
Of course.
one-liners. And every time he would do a one-liner, he would rack his shotgun, like he would do in the movies. He'd be like, "Yeah, let's get a monk."
his name is like Smokey Green or something like that. Like,
So I told him,
It's not far from the truth. That's like what his
Yeah.
fucking characters are named. Yeah.
one of his iconic ones was Gandalf the Green, his D&D character.
Yeah.
Everything was Old Smoke was another one.
Yeah. It's
That dude was
always
a
a weed
wizard.
reference.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rip.
Rip. Yep.
Rip in peace.
I keep telling Chris that we got to do something, but he's just kind of, I don't know, putting it off. Oh, speaking of which, I know Ethan's gonna be like, "I fucking told you so" with this, because I already told you, Harley.
How many times am I in these fucking moments here?
So Derek came over
oh yeah, this story.
when we did the hot pot, because Jackie was inviting everybody, you know, and then I was like, sure, whatever, he can come. And I went inside to go get some water, or to get, I can't remember what I was doing. I was getting something from inside. And apparently, as I was opening and shutting the screen, or the glass door, which is really loud, everyone inside heard Thorn yelping, like loudly. And I was like kind of in a hurry, and I was just like, what? I didn't hear anything. And I ran into the kitchen to grab what I was getting at, and I came back outside, and he was fine. And it didn't dawn on me until later that Derek had gone outside to get water out of the spigot, and when he gets water out of the spigot, I always give him, you know, water for his bowl, and he just throws his head in and plays with the water because he's a fucking dog. And I was like, he probably did that when he was filling the walk up, and Derek did something to him. And then 2 days ago, he comes over to play Cyberpunk with us because I guess he was wanting to play for a long time and whatever, sure. And then he fucking pulls out like a slice of pizza wrapped in tinfoil, and Thorn runs up and sniffs it because his face is like, you know, over the table. And Derek just like smacks him in the fucking face. And I was like, don't fucking hit my dog. And he goes,
What the
I didn't
hell?
hit your dog.
What?
just goes-
What?
He goes,
Just
I didn't hit
blatantly
your
lied?
dog. He just blatantly lied to my face. So he actually smacked him twice, like really quick. And, you know, it wasn't even necessarily that hard. And it was more of like the shock of just like, what? Like, and I repeated myself. I was like, don't fucking hit my dog. And if you do, I'm gonna fucking, I was getting pissed. And he was just like, he doubled down. He was like, I didn't hit your dog. And then I was just like, get the fuck out of my garage. And he's got like psychosis or some shit, because he told everyone else that Sam thinks I hit his dog. There was like 4 fucking people there who
Everyone
saw
saw
it
it.
happen. Yeah. So there you go.
I mean,
I didn't
you know.
want to do anything because I didn't want to go to jail. That was basically what it was all about.
right. I mean,
Yeah. Because I've
so
been
you
to
just
jail.
don't hang
and-
out with people like that. So you don't have to put yourself in situations like that.
There we go. There we go. Oh,
Well,
I
that's
didn't
all
think
I'm gonna
that would
say.
happen.
You know,
Well, the thing was, you know, it was just like, you know, he probably did fucking kick Thorn now that I see, because I mean, you can tell when somebody hits an animal. You
Right.
know, there's just like there's something wrong with them.
Oh, so you think when the faucet thing happened, he kicked him? Or
Yeah, because my parents swore, and they didn't even come out, and I in my head I was coming inside, so like I was like, I didn't hear it. They must have heard like another thing or something, and they were both like, no, it was like right out here. We heard him yelping, and at the time I just was like, all right, whatever. And then, but thinking back, I was like, oh fuck, he probably kicked him or some shit. And so as soon as I saw that, and then he lied to my face. If he had been a man and been like, you know, sorry, man, I, you know, got carried away or whatever, I would have probably not have been so angry. But when he lied to me, I saw red.
Yeah.
was like,
I mean, yeah, as soon as I saw that behavior happening more
Yeah.
than once in a 10-minute period when I first met him in person, I was like, okay, I don't want anything to do with this guy. I'm already done with this person. I just met them. I'm already done. I don't want to be around this guy anymore.
yep,
I can't stand liars. I mean, just own up to whatever you're doing.
yeah,
Like I'm not like not only are you lying to me, you think I'm stupid because you think I'm gonna believe it. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
it's like I don't know.
well, I just have a much higher tolerance for things, and I usually like to overlook the negatives. But yeah, so that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess we're just two extremes, you know. 'Cause
definitely.
you're extremely permissive, and I very
Aren't.
easily sign people off if they're being fuckheads. So,
Instantly, practically. And Harley's
well, I
somewhere
mean,
in the middle.
no, well, oh yeah, but
No,
I
I'm
mean,
more of like a doormat. Like,
I can
well,
see that.
if I trust you, it doesn't matter if we disagree or there's things about you that annoy me. If I know I can trust you and you're like a reasonable person who's not insane, and then we can disagree all day, and that's fine.
Yeah.
It's just that there's just lots of people who are just like there's no value here. Like with Derek, I know if the communication is already broken down with Derek, right? If I know he's gonna lie in every conversation in every sentence all the time, why are we talking? What
Yeah.
is this exchange of fucking data between us? It doesn't mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I
there's
can't move to any
something.
sort of point socially there because it's all bullshit. Or just ambitious people who don't do anything and just sort of exist and eat food. Like
Or watch anime.
that's not what I meant.
I
But
know.
yes, also people who watch anime. uh, I don't know. I don't have respect for Martin because he's like fucking 35 and he's still like never had a job and he lives with his mom. So it's like
I mean, I don't have respect for most people.
maybe you hang out with the people you don't respect.
No, I mean, I hang around with you guys.
Why do you do that?
Like I said, there's some good things about people that are good, and I just exploit those.
Derek sucks a mean dick, doesn't he? That's exactly why you hang out with him.
No, that's only
No,
like
he likes to
20%
run.
of the reason.
He ran a whole bunch of games of D&D that I probably would never get the opportunity to run or be a part of. And those were a lot of fun, so it wasn't all bad. Anyways, Harley.
Anyways. Yes.
what's the next movie we're gonna watch?
I still have those Planet of the Apes movies just queued up. That was supposed to be the next one.
I mean, I'm down. I feel like our normal organic conversations aren't as fluid this time. Probably because I'm sober. I don't know about y'all.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're
Seems pretty
10
fluid
times
to
more
me.
talkative when you drink. So
Yeah. Well, I think it's also just a little. We've never fucking done this before.
Yeah. But so far, we haven't come up with anything as funny as Weenus Wednesday yet. So
No,
I don't know if I could do 2 podcasts a week.
no, that was just a. It was just a cool name that
that
we
was
just
just
came up
banter,
with.
yeah. Because we were talking
It's
about
called
how
Weenus Wednesday and then run it on Fridays.
well, yeah, we were talking about how whenever we had COVID, you had like this weird thing where your weenus was like extra, you had extra sensitivity of the weenus. Like me and Sam both had the same experience where we like leaned on our elbow and it was like, ow.
It was excruciating.
Yeah.
I remember one time I just kind of jumped onto my bed with my tablet and I was going to read something, and then when I went to go get up, it was like I had rashes. Then I was rubbing sandpaper like on my elbows.
Yeah, I like leaned on a soft, cushiony part of my couch, and it just felt like somebody had like hit me in the arm with a hammer. Like, it was very,
That
very
was
odd.
the worst
You
part
guys-
of COVID.
You guys got some weak weenuses.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
I don't know, man.
Get some I can't think of another W word.
It's some weenus
When we
wash,
were in formation in the Marines, we would play the Weenus Rodeo if we were standing there for long enough.
which
You just
is
reach up and you just grab their weenus because
Mhm.
everybody's always standing in parade rest, and then they just start flopping their arm around. You got to hold on. Some of the stupidest shit ever.
What no video games does to a motherfucker.
Hey man, you stand in formation for like a half an hour, you get bored.
Yeah.
That, or you just put pens in people's hands and they just grab them, and then they have a pen now. And they can't throw it on the ground because they'll get in trouble.
That was a funny thing we used to do in a high school. Was it was like a social thing. You walk up to somebody and you like offer them something like a pencil or something. You don't say anything. You just walk up, hold it out, and like probably 95% of the time they'll just take it from you. They don't know why they
Yep.
just took it from you. Like,
Well, there's just that reflex to just grab whatever's in your hand.
yeah.
You just do it to strangers, just put it in their hand.
Mhm.
Get weird looks. What's up, Thorin? You bored?
Dog tax. Dog tax. Dog tax.
tax.
Seriously. Come up here. You just woke up. No? Not gonna do it? All right.
Oh, I
Oh.
see ears.
See him right there. I had a dog cam set up, but it.
You have a regular cam you can just point down.
I mean, no, I can't because it'll hit my PC. 'Cause this thing's like 4 feet over there.
Yeah, he showed me a picture of it yesterday. It's if he moves it, it's
Pretty
gonna be
jank.
hard to get it back to where it is now.
Oh, okay.
Boy,
Doran. Doran.
he got bigger. I need to get him a new collar.
Yeah, he's got big old jowls now.
Yeah, look at this. Look at that. Should just fucking
He's a-
attacked him, dude. Oh,
Oh.
Best
Just trying
podcast
to give
on
you
the
hugs.
internet.
all right. I fucked my back up. I told Harley this already at the start, but I haven't been able to play with him as much. I got like a herniated disc or some shit.
Yeah, getting old.
Yeah, or I just sit a fucking way too much.
There's that.
A
I
little
kept
both.
like waking up and like my neck would crack in a really painful way while I was sleeping. Like I would just do it in a certain way, or like the traction of my head on my pillow would keep it in place as I turn, and it would go.
Oof.
I'm like, oh, ow, and then I'd be fine. But
Mhm.
yeah, I was like, that's a new pain. Great. Okay, I got that to look forward to.
For me, it just shoots down my right ass cheek, or like underneath it, the fucking sciatic nerve. And I can't tell if it's from a herniated disc or whatever that muscle is there that presses on it.
The piriformis.
Yeah. It just
Oh.
really hurts.
Can you describe the pain?
Yeah, it feels like I'm getting stabbed with an electric knife. It's not, it
I mean,
doesn't shoot down, it's just always right there.
Yeah. Have you done the Bob and Brad stretches and stuff?
Oh hell yeah, dude. That was the first place I went to.
Okay.
They helped. I actually ordered a yoga ball so that I could lay on it and, you know, stretch out my lower back, and that kind of helps. But I definitely fucked it up.
Mm.
Normally it goes away in a day, and literally sometimes, because normally from what I hear, if it's your back that's got a hernia disc, sitting makes it worse. But sitting's actually when it's not bad at all.
I just know that anything that has to do with sitting, if you get an injury there, it's really fucking awful. Like
Yeah.
it took ages for my tailbone to feel better. Like
Yeah.
I'm still sitting on the tailbone pillow right now. But only just like out of habit. Like if I wasn't sitting on it, I'd be fine. And after a couple hours, it'd start getting uncomfortable. But you know, it's just, yeah, that
30s,
sucks.
dude.
Yeah, it was like, and it came out of nowhere, and I have no idea what caused it. Like I didn't like fall on my ass or anything. It was just like, ow, this really hurts now for some reason. Okay. And then I
Broken
waited 4
ass.
months. Like I guess it doesn't hurt anymore. Like I don't know what the fuck happened. So
Yeah.
yeah, just mysterious pains for no reason. That's what I get to look forward to for the next 60, 70 years. So
Yeah, for real.
yeah, you only get to be like a young adult for 10 years. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, and you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Yep.
It's like youth and being hot. You get 10 years. Figure it out. Oh, damn it.
If only you could
Or if
hit
you're one of the few people that can like keep up on that shit somehow.
That's like my mom, dude. Like I know it's like weird to call your own mom hot, but like she got carded up
Well.
until she was like 40, you know, or like 50, and then she's like almost, yeah, she's like 55 now, and she's still a good looking woman, and like she gets hit on all the time. It's like most people at that age get all like flabby and saggy, and like their face gets all wrinkly and stuff, but she just looks like a regular 30-year-old woman but with gray hair. Like that's I don't get it. And then I know this chick that I dated for a little while who's like, she's like 40 now, but she looks like she's younger than me. She's still
Yeah.
really good looking. Some
I
people
know
just get
some
really lucky.
I know some Asian, well, Filipino moms that are like 50, but they look like they're 23.
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah,
don't even have gray hair.
yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Then you
And
look
I
at like
and I
Russians. Holy shit. That's one of the things Eric told me. He was like, "Yeah, Russian women are hot, but then look at their moms. Like, it
yeah,
doesn't take that long to get there.
yeah. It's like a switch goes off. You're like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Probably just the vodka.
Yeah, with
That's probably
Russians,
what it
it's
is.
with Russians. It's like they're hot, and then like there's a switch goes off, and then it's just like, God damn, that's like next level shit right there. Once they start wearing the headscarves and the no, is
babushka
that just
kicks
me?
in.
Oh no, it's all the hotness is compressed into a short amount of time, right? So that's why like young Russian people are like ridiculously good looking, and then all of a sudden, nothing.
Gone.
So, the
Speaking
only
of,
problem is that, like, the only exception is like Swedes are just good looking the entire time, and it's not fair.
yeah, Icelandic people especially.
No, they can look a little odd. I mean, have you ever seen Bjork or Kwarashi? Like
Well,
they're all.
Bjork's just, I think, just odd, kind of a uniquely.
Oh yeah, and I only know of one band, and then also Bjork from Iceland, which is 20% of the population. So
Yeah,
that's what I have to. That's what I have to go on.
you can't live there unless you're Icelandic or some shit. Like you can't permanently reside there. They're pretty strict about that.
Hmm.
I learned that vodka doesn't make me really feel like shit at all after I drink it.
I learned that one last year, and I can get as hammered as I want and wake up fine.
Yeah, I got hammered 2 days ago, and I woke up like refreshed. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It's considered the cleanest alcohol, so
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably why.
if you compare it immediately to gin is like gives me the worst hangovers. And like if
Yeah.
I get hammered on gin, I'm like, oh Jesus fucking Christ. Rum is the worst though.
gin's
If I get
been my
hammered on
drink of
rum,
choice.
holy shit! It's like a horse kicked me in the head before I woke up. Like that's what it feels like.
Worst thing I've ever had was off of port wine.
Oh
Well,
god.
yeah,
That
because
was
it's pure sugar.
Nightmare.
Yeah.
That was bad.
Yeah, if you
well,
want to, if you
I'm
want
just gonna
to
drink vodka from now on.
just get this from like Winco. It's like $10,
Yeah,
and
that's
Damn.
after tax.
no, it's like $15 with tax, but like it's solid vodka. And if you put it through a Brita filter, it turns into really good vodka. So
A few years ago, I saw that size bottle of Skull somewhere for like $6.99. It was just absolutely insane.
I don't know if I'm willing to go that low.
It tastes
but-
like
well,
any other vodka.
vodka you can go really low.
Yeah.
Like the difference between like a $70 bottle of vodka and a $10 bottle of vodka is the bottle.
Yeah.
So, like other alcohols, yes, I understand you don't want to go too cheap because they taste like shit. But vodka has a fucking ceiling to how good it can get. So.
Although I will say, if you're going plastic bottle versus glass bottle, to me that there's a difference in taste there.
I don't know. I think that's bullshit.
Well, I mean, I'm just
anyone who's like habitually buying super expensive vodka, I know they're an idiot. So
well, yeah,
Or they're just rich and they don't give a shit.
yeah.
I mean,
So
I
there's-
wish I could be there.
there's this empty bottle, and then there's this empty bottle,
Oh no,
Good
and
God.
I've been working on this.
Ethan, you're turning into me. You need to stop,
I
man.
think he's past you, man. I think he's a notch above you now. You got to step up.
I'm completely sober right now, so
I mean, I just threw away all of my empty gin bottles, so I can't show off.
is it really showing off?
I drink like twice a week now.
Well,
Not to show
fucking good
off.
for you.
I go through like weird benders where it's like I get drunk every night for 5 days in a row, and then I don't drink for 4, or I get drunk every other day. You know, I don't think I've been drunk a whole week, but I've gotten close to that. That's for sure.
I mean, there was a time, yeah, hell yeah, when the Marines, it's like you had to drink
To
just
fall asleep.
to just function. Yeah, because you could
Yeah.
only usually get like 5 hours of sleep with all the shit that you had to do, and it was always beer too. And the
Yeah.
bathrooms fucking stunk because everybody poured their old beers down the fucking drains, like 4 stories of just beer drainage. It just reeked.
Yeah. I'm,
Beer fucks me up now. Holy crap!
I think I'm gonna go to AA on Sunday, maybe if I can,
Go
just
for
to
it,
see what it's like. See if it'll help out.
or just get arrested and spend a night in a drunk tank or a month in jail.
Thing is I'm such a well-behaved drunk that it's like never gonna happen.
Uh, all
I'm
the
like,
supreme alcoholics that I know, that's how that happened. They detoxed, almost died in a drunk tank, and then got their life back together, or detoxed. Apparently, I talked to my dad and my mom and their parents and everyone in that both sides of the family. They can drink, stop drinking, and there's never a problem. It's just like, all right, I'm done.
that's how I was for the longest time. But what usually happens is that I'm sitting there and I just like, it's like a second type of thirst, you know?
Mm.
It's like you have your thirst for like regular water, but then there's like something that's deeper in the furthest back of your mouth, like almost in the back of your head. It's like, hmm, I need some Bernie water.
It's some spicy water.
I
need
just
some spicy
feel
water.
like it's more like the because I have a lot of fun when I drink, and I usually listen to music really loud. That's what I want. It's not
Yeah.
necessarily the alcohol that I'm craving. It's just the high of it, I guess.
Well, yes.
Yeah. So different way of saying the same thing.
Yeah. And it's like the only illicit drug. That's not even. I don't even know what illicit means in this context, but it's the only drug that I can really do. So, yeah, it turns
Yeah.
out to be the worst one for you. So, other than like meth,
I hear kratom is something.
I heard some bad things about kratom. It's not as safe as people say. So,
Yeah.
What is kratom? I've never heard of that.
It's a plant that you drink or take pills of, and it's supposed to make you feel euphoric. Like,
it's sort of a quasi opiate.
yeah.
It's not.
People do it all the time.
It's not a product of the opium, like the poppy plant, but it has similar qualities. So people who are on opiates will generally switch to, like, or sorry, are addicted to opiates will switch to kratom as a replacement.
Mm.
But it has its own problems as well. It's not like you're not trading something for it, you know. So, Chris pretends it's completely like fine, and there's no problem whatsoever. But I don't know.
Ignorance is bliss, I guess. Yeah, I used to do a lot of drugs and experimented with, the on-the-shelf drugs and fucked myself up a little bit. So I
Yeah,
stick to
it just
booze.
just because it's legal doesn't mean it's safe. Like that spice shit that was going around for like 10
Yeah.
years. That shit will fucking kill you. That shit is terrible.
Yeah. Oh, I almost died on spice.
Spice is the worst thing ever. It's so bad.
Pretty sure I almost had a heart attack or had a heart attack on spice. 'Cause that
Yeah,
was
I
one of-
mean,
kidney failure and heart attacks.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, if you're gonna do a legal drug, I mean, I would choose fucking nutmeg over over spice.
There was this
You're gonna end up the
sleeping
product
pill.
you're gonna end up the product of one of those videos of the Asian guy who's the doctor who's like, oh, this person did this and this is what happened.
Oh, Chubby Emu. It's like
Yeah, that's his
a
name.
man presented to the emergency room unconscious.
He ate 16 jars of pickles, and here's what happened
This
to
is-
his liver.
Yeah.
My when we were in the Marines, my buddy
I love those videos.
like I drank fucking cough syrup, all kinds of crazy shit.
You
Like there was
Robotrip?
yeah, they were awful. Fucking awful. I just got super flushed and sweaty, and my skin like itched and burned for like an hour, and then it went away. And if I wasn't in like the peak physical condition of my life, I don't know what would have happened. We also there was like these sleeping pills, and you soak them in hot water overnight, and then you break them all up and chug them. And that was like I was in a waking dream.
That sounds
was
like a
good.
suicide attempt.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I didn't really think.
Are you
too
trying to
much.
kill yourself? No, I'm just.
I'm just overdosing on
high.
sleeping pills.
I remember just laying on his floor on base, just like, whoa, man. I don't know if this was a good idea or not. Oh well. And then I just started doing acid.
The next logical step.
Well, I mean, it's been tried and tested, and it's aside from the psychological effects, it's harmless.
That's what the CIA wants you to think.
I don't know. Have you ever seen some fried guy before? I mean, some people get permanently fucked up with LSD. So
Yeah. They I know a couple of them. I never did that much at one time. I did a lot over a long period of time. But yeah, those days are over. I got it all in a short little span. Would you get a Harley on acid?
Pass.
I think that'd be cool. Why not?
yeah, get him on mushrooms, and then I'll pretend to be some elder god telling him to stop watching anime.
No.
Okay, so a friend
Just
of
hang
mine,
out with them.
got into mushrooms a couple of years ago, and he was experimenting with it, and he told me about this whole saga of how he saw this thing online that was talking about, like, he was watching like a YouTube video that was talking about time travel, and that sent him down this rabbit hole about like time travelers and extra dimensions and stuff, and it covered a lot of topics that I had talked to him about previously, and so his mind spun it that like me and like one other guy were uploading all these videos, and we had like done something to his internet connection, and like the whole thing was like this elaborate prank that we had against him, that we were giving him like all this weird info, and the whole thing culminated with him like kneeling in his front lawn for like a day and a half, like threatening to kill himself, and his wife was about to call the cops on him, and then
Some people
he was like, so I don't do
can't handle
mushrooms anymore.
Yeah, some people just can't handle it.
Yeah.
I worked with a kid at I mean, he was an adult technically, but at Staples, he was like, "I'm gonna do a bunch of shrooms," and I was like, "All right, well, just do it in a place where you know you're gonna be. And it's gonna be cool all night with people that are gonna be cool." And he didn't do any of those things. He got picked up by the drug dealer selling the shrooms, and him and his buddy rode around with him, waiting for it to kick in. Then they got pulled over,
Oh no.
and he ended up walking home and just spent the next 6 hours in an introspective nightmare. And he didn't even sleep. It came into work the next day, just like dark eyes,
Yeah.
fucking just like, dude, that fucked me up. Told you. You never did acid either, did you, Ethan?
I tried salvia once, but it just didn't take for some reason. I had that same problem with weed for a bit. I had to smoke it a few times for it actually bind it to a receptor in my brain. So I imagine that's what happened, or I just smoked it wrong. I don't know.
There's never been a more useless drug than salvia. Like, there's nothing you really get out of it.
Yeah,
It's like some things you get like introspective spiritual experiences and stuff, and it's life changing. That's just a hyperdimensional roller coaster through a nightmare.
yeah, I was reading
Sometimes it's fun.
reading a Reddit thread that people were talking about doing salvia, and they're talking about like the wallpaper melting and getting eaten by their couch and like all sorts of weird shit, and I'm just like, I don't, that doesn't sound fun.
I melted into the concrete. I mean, the first time I did it, I took a big ass rip out of a bong, set it down, and I was like, nothing happened. They were like, do it again. I went, all right. And I did another huge ass rip. And then before I could even set it down, I don't even remember what happened. It just felt like, in Star Trek when they go light or warp speed, it just felt like that in the chair.
Mm-hmm.
And I was pinned there. And then I don't remember the next like 5 or 6 minutes that I was up there. And then when I came down, reality just wasn't what it was until it kind of morphed back into it. And then I couldn't stop laughing for a couple minutes because I just had no idea what the fuck happened. They said I was like eating shit, like, and I was fucking like trying to talk. I do remember that. I do remember trying to talk, but you can't. You're just like, that's literally how it comes out. Oof. Man, I did some retarded shit when I was a kid. Didn't even think about it.
Here you are, still alive somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Against all odds, despite your best efforts.
Yeah, for real. Again, if I wasn't like in peak physical condition in the Marines, I don't know what would happen. Oh, I remember I smoked spice one time, and I was trying to keep up with the people who were actually smoking weed, and then I fucking passed out. And I'm pretty sure I had a heart attack or something. I just was like, I don't feel good. I stood up and just went, bam. And they were like, oh shit, what do we do? And I got up and drank some water, and I was like, oh, I'm fine. And I remember giving it to some of my buddies, and they turned green, threw up, and then passed out. and then got up and they're like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go home." But me, I was so fucking stupid. I was like, "Huh, I wonder how that happened."
I don't even know how that shit even sold because like no one ever has a good time on that shit. Nobody.
Well, I mean,
And
when you did it, um, in certain doses, I mean, you did get high for like it was only like 15 minutes, but you got high. And in the Marines, everybody smoked it. Everybody smoked it because they couldn't test for it and it was legal.
Hmm.
You weren't supposed to. It was illegal in the Marines. But you'd go into like somebody's room and they've got a big screen TV with King of the Hill on, and everyone's just fucking smoking bowls of spice in there, and you just sit down and pass it around. It's a wild time.
man, Arrakis is a crazy place. Plazy craze.
Plays
Arrakis.
Bunch of kids sitting around smoking spice.
Watching
Yeah.
King of the Hill.
Watch
Drinking out
King
of
of the Hill.
cups.
Hey, spice must flow, dude. Pass it.
Yeah. Then they
Who
got
do you think you are, the Kwisatz Haderach? Give me that shit.
Yep. I could tell it was all day, but you've all heard them all. Except for our audience, which I think is just how many people are even in here?
It's just
It's
us.
There's 3 people
three
in
viewers.
That's that, and all of them were us.
here. Ah,
Maybe Marshall.
maybe Marshall. I mean, he was.
We have a
common.
guy named FTO Payer, and that's the only person I don't recognize.
Say something if you're watching. Do it. Entertain us.
Yeah, entertain us, chat.
Yeah.
Now, do it.
Ethan, you remember that one time I was streaming and that dude came in and like asked me to do something, and I was like, "Fuck, dude, I hate streaming." And he was like, "Well, why the fuck are you doing this if you don't want to entertain people?" And you were just like, "Maybe he just fucking doesn't want to."
Your camera's a
And we
still
had a-
frame, Sam.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, your camera's frozen.
Son of a
Just
bitch.
restart it.
Yep.
Still frozen somehow.
There
There
we
we
go.
go.
It's this shitty cam link I got. It works most of the time.
Yeah, I mean that happened on Harley's stream as well.
Yep.
Whenever I get a bug up my ass and decide to stream, I pretty much have the same sentiment. I'm just like, you should be interacting with the chat. I mean, I usually do interact with the chat because would be why I would be streaming. But then other times it's like, fuck, you don't tell me what to do. I'm just doing this so I don't have to run OBS all the time and record shit.
I was gonna
Remember
say
when
I
I-
stream so that I don't have to take up hard drive space, but if something funny happens, I can go back and clip it.
Exactly. It's like this is a
Practical.
lot more convenient, you know.
I got some friends that are legit trying to be successful streamers.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's like the only way that you can make it. Here goes my camera again. I just think it overheats, maybe. But I said like the only way that I think that you can legit make it without just dumping an insane amount of time into it is to cheat, use bots and stuff. I mean, I think most of the successful people did that anyways. It's like you have to get ahead of anybody. It's like there's a mountain of people above you that you got to be above for anyone to see.
Yeah.
But then again, who knows? I'm not a successful streamer.
Nope.
Nope. Back in the days of DayZ, I had a pretty good following going on Twitch.
So did I. I had about 300
Yeah.
followers, and it was DayZ Mod.
It was
I'd
standalone
show you,
for me.
yeah. When I just shoot the shit, talk about what I was doing, and hunt people, and that's about it.
Yeah, like during that was like the initial era of game streaming though too. Like it was kind of a wild west. Like a lot of people didn't understand how to even set it up. Like
Yeah.
There
Yeah, it
was
was a lot easier to
there
get
was a
started
bigger-
because you weren't.
yeah, there was a bigger entry barrier.
Yeah. I also kind of did things a little differently. Like mine was, I would play like sneaky, stealthy music and jazz and weird shit like that while I was playing,
Mm-hmm.
and I would just be Captain Stealthy Hunty guy person. Like I wouldn't like roll with a big group and then do a bunch of loud, trolly, edgy shit. I would like just quietly stalk a person and then take them out. And that was basically the content that I offered. Or usually like do 1v3s, but like in a very solid Snake fashion.
Mm-hmm.
And that was probably the only game where stealth was actually possible in multiplayer
Yeah.
that like really mattered. I'm trying to think, there's another game that had really good stealth.
H1Z1 had really good stealth. I felt.
I'll be right back. I gotta take care of my dog.
Because there was like a whole thing of like you would spawn into the game, you would immediately take your shoes off because then your footsteps would be quieter.
Oh, cool.
And then, yeah, if you were crouching, you were almost silent. Like you get real sneaky in that game.
Hunt Showdown has amazing stealth.
Yes.
That's a good multiplayer stealth game for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of really want to play Chaos Theories multiplayer again, Spies versus Mercs. That was a lot of fun. But there's no way that game could even exist now because you can't monetize it. And it's so dependent on like hard shadows and darkness, and just you could never make a game like that nowadays.
Yeah.
Although Intruder works. Intruder's a cool game that's kind of like that, but I can't get anyone to play it with me, so guess we'll never know.
I haven't heard of that one.
I've shown it to you a few times. You'll recognize it when you see it. Yeah, that's why I think Sam just stinks. He smells.
Oh yeah, you're
hey.
right.
Go on.
Nothing.
Huh.
You'll have to replay the stream afterwards to find out.
I won't. Okay. Well, this is just something, isn't it?
Yeah.
I guess.
First time. Maybe we should have a topic next time.
I have a vaguely interesting topic that I can bring up.
Well, then bring it
What
up.
do you guys think of Sword Art Online? Do you think it could happen in real life? Do you think that VR could be like that?
I'm kicking you.
No. It's only a matter of time.
Yeah, it was only a matter of time. No, so I was reading this green text post the other day that somebody who's like a grad student in psychology was like doing some research on IQ and saying that IQ directly correlates with being able to understand conditional hypotheticals. And so it was like certain ranges of IQ, like basically what it boils down to is, and I went and found the post before the stream. It was like the first example is recursion. And so it's like so it's like as a test, write a story with two named characters, each of whom have at least one line of dialogue. And it's like, oh, okay, that's easy. And then the next step beyond that is write a story with two named characters, each of whom have at least one line of dialogue. In the story, the characters must be describing a story with at least two named characters who each have one line of dialogue. And it's apparently like, depending on your IQ, like it gets exponentially harder with each step to coherently tell the story. And so I just thought that was
cool.
interesting. Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And so that piqued my interest. And I'm not sure how legit it is, but I mean, it sounds like it would be a thing that like each step would just be like, I'm having trouble putting my details together, remembering the names, remembering what who is who. But that's all I got on that one.
Wait, so each person in the story has their own story with two people in it, so it goes from 2 characters to 6.
Yeah,
or does it go from 2 characters to another 2? It just goes down a level.
Uh,
Like one of the characters has a story with 2 people in it, or they both are. Well, I guess you couldn't share a story. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, so
but,
basically, if I were to say like, okay, so Dave and Tom are in a room, and then Dave says Michael and James are in a room, talking to each other, and then Tom says Bill and Ted are in a room talking to each other.
Okay, yeah. So it would go from 2 to 6 to. I just hit the limits of my IQ.
Yeah, even telling that, I failed to give the second level sub characters dialogue.
It would be 18, and then yeah, that's kind of really cool. That's a cool little top problem.
Yeah.
So I gotta.
Hardcore
what-
politics. Let's get into that.
Oh, we're gonna talk about Russia and Ukraine.
No,
I actually don't
that's-
know enough about that to have an
That's
opinion.
not very interesting.
Yeah, everybody's already knows. about
America's like Russia's being a dick, and Russia's being like America's being a dick, or NATO's being a dick, and that's all I get from it.
that. Russia's
What
like
if everybody was just nice to each other?
Russia's like America's. Why are you talking shit about us?
I heard that there's been a lot of cheating in the Olympics from the Chinese. There's been a lot of accusations put out. and
There have
stuff
been a
like that.
disproportionate number of somebody wins and then gets disqualified, and the next runner-up is the Chinese contender. Like that's happened like
What's-
6 or 7 times.
Yeah.
What's interesting about that is that I investigated one of the investigated. That's a strong word to use. I looked into one of the instances of cheating and then flip flop my opinion on it over time. Like it was that GIF that everyone saw, like this ice skaters going around to the outside, and then one of them appears to throw a puck into the feet of the other ice skater, and it causes them to fall over,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And you look at it from that angle, and it looks so obvious. You're like, that clearly that's what they did, but it's been slowed down to 0.25. And the one thing to know is that when you slow any footage down to that level, it looks intentional because you're looking at it through your time
Yeah.
perspective,
Mhm.
right? Where you can make decisions about your time, but or decisions about what you like. All of your movements are intentional, but at that speed, the decision was made 30 frames ago, and it's just being carried out, right? But that isn't the damning thing. The damning thing is that I actually saw the other angle, which no one really talked about, and you can very clearly see that the person wasn't grabbing a puck and throwing it. Their arm was being hit by someone's knee behind them,
Mm.
and their hand bumped into the puck, which was a freak accident, and threw it forward into the person.
Wait, so this was was this speed skating or?
Yeah, it was speed skating.
Okay, so
Yeah.
where did why was the puck on the rink in the first place?
I think it's a safety thing because it's basically it demarcates like the boundary of the
Oh,
speed
okay,
skating,
so
right?
they use it as markers.
Yeah.
Right. So if they were stationary, that could potentially cause worse accidents. And so it's like, well, okay, this is the least worst of both worlds kind of
Mhm.
thing,
Yeah.
And
least
another thing
bad.
that China's been doing is that they've probably paid off or bought American athletes that are at least somewhat Chinese in ethnicity, and then having them compete for China. Even though China has a law where you can't be Chinese and hold a citizenship somewhere else, so they're just like, come over here so you can give us a medal. Like they're just cheating.
And I mean, and then there was the ski jumpers that got disqualified because their uniforms were too loose, and they had already used them in like previous competitions and had no problem with it. And so there's various foul play going on for sure.
It's just like the worst looking Winter Olympics I've ever seen.
Apparently, the
Like the
Wait.
long jump ramp is just like in an industrial part of some city. Like there's just
apparently
old-
the Olympians weren't allowed to train on the fake snow. Like they were only used to real snow, and so then whenever they put the fake snow down, nobody like it feels different. So
Yeah.
it's like screwed up all of their abilities.
Yeah, and the food apparently is terrible. It's like the cheapest thing that they could probably have found in the local area and just gave it to them.
Hmm.
It's like a high school cafeteria food is what they're being fed.
Ugh. Just bring in some street vendors, man. Street Chinese food, that shit's got to be amazing. I mean, health-wise, that's probably dubious, but it's probably tasty.
I mean, if you like gutter oil.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, people eat it, so I mean, maybe it's good.
No.
I don't think that's a good litmus test for anything.
Gutter oil.
No, people eat it,
No,
so
no,
maybe
I
it's
mean
good.
like people eat it, so therefore it's safe. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't say
people do
safe.
meth.
It's probably all they know. Or how they will just
We just don't give a shit, like it's like fuck, I'm tired. Just put some food in my mouth. I ate it yesterday and it was fine. I'm sure it's fine this
I'm
time.
still
And
alive.
then they have entire body cancer, the next year. So
or they've got blood fucking tapeworms.
blood.
Yeah. Like those they x-rayed this dude and he's got like parasites in his blood vessels
That's
all over his body.
terrifying.
Yeah. The alcohol industry over there is super sketch. Like you don't know if you're getting an actual bottle of something or if it was literally uh dumped out of a tote by a woman with just having it one of those plastic Dixie cups, just filling up bottles with it.
Ugh.
Apparently, there are tons of people over there die from food poisoning because of that. I don't know. You guys seen ADV China?
No, what's that?
There was this American guy and this South African dude who lived and worked in China and married there, and initially they had a pro-Chinese YouTube channel, split up between them,
Mm-hmm.
and they had a joint one. And they would go on their motorcycles and they would just go around China and they would show you all these dope places and cool locations and good food.
Are you talking about Laowai?
Well, Laowai and Serpent, whatever the hell his name is. They have a channel called ADV China. That's their like
Okay.
main
Yeah.
documentary thing. And over time, they started to realize that things over here are just getting really fucked up. And then they covered the whole insanity with the ghost towns and people just building. They'll own land, but if there's so many buildings on that land, they get like money from the government. So there's just like these stick concrete buildings they just throw out there. So you'll see just like these whole villages of just half constructed buildings all over the place. And then it got worse and worse and worse and worse till they were basically accused of espionage, constantly being arrested, and had to flee the country through Hong Kong. Otherwise, they would have just been disappeared.
Ugh.
And now they live in America, and they have a podcast where they just talk about how China's just the worst thing ever now.
Bing Chiling. You guys,
Hmm.
have you seen that? No,
No.
it's wow. John Cena doing like
Oh,
that commercial about ice
Oh.
cream, all in Mandarin.
I
He's
haven't
like, ooh,
seen.
big Chiling.
I haven't seen that one. I did see his like apology video for something. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think they call
John
him
Cena
John
speaking Chinese is
Sheena
really
now.
surreal. Like,
Yeah.
It is really weird to see this meathead speaking Mandarin. You
And
know,
apparently his accent's terrible. So, like, it would be
I
like
mean,
if,
it's better than mine. I can't speak the language at all.
yeah,
So
but
Yeah.
apparently it'd be like if Jet Li were to go on to like a McDonald's commercial and talk about how McDonald's is so great, but with a
Oh, yeah.
really bad Asian accent. He says that's basically the equivalent of John Sheena over there doing that. Ah, yes, the world that we live in.
Yeah.
Were you the one who brought up DCS to me, Harley, like a while ago?
Like the flight simulator?
Yeah,
Maybe. I've never
Isn't-
played it, so
it looks pretty dope.
yeah, it does.
I've been
but it's
watching.
really
I've been watching
expensive.
this. Yeah, I mean, you just got to pick one plane. It's $80. There's a YouTuber, Growling Sidewinder, where he does a lot of just jet fighting, and it looks like a lot of fun. But apparently, you need like a $2,000 setup to get the full experience.
I'll be right back.
So, Ethan,
what?
I'm trying to figure out why a rocker boy would be in on this job, unless he
Hmm.
was looking for money, excitement, or maybe the chance of corporate sponsorship.
Tell me about the job.
There's an AgriCorp executive that needs a favor. Basically, he wants you guys to sneak onto a yacht and delete the surveillance footage on it, because apparently it's a rental yacht and his boss was using it for the past week and needs that information gone.
Okay.
and they're willing to pay
It's a
you
cool little mission. I like that.
3,000 eddies upon completion of the mission. It's in a yacht club. So I mean, it's, as you can expect, it's, you have to
Okay.
remember
I
paying.
got 2 reasons.
Yeah.
2. One. I fucking no-showed at a concert, right?
Yeah.
And I owe this venue some money. In addition, people have while my last album, Sellout, was a pretty good cynical album about
hmm
selling out. It wasn't really good enough to convince my fans that I actually haven't sold out myself. Um, so I'm looking for some inspiration for my music, and I always heard about Johnny Silverhand and all the shit that he did, and I really looked up to him. And I used to be friends with what's his name, Carrie Uridine.
Yeah.
When he showed me those sick riffs, and I was like, I'll fucking do what they do, but you know what? I got to start small. So let's try this. I heard about this one place. Let's do this fucking yacht job, and then I can sing songs about that time I kicked ass on a yacht.
Right.
And so, yeah, basically, I'm getting my proverbial dick wet with action.
Or maybe that the corporation that's calling you owns the venue that you owe money for, so they just call you up and they're like, "Hey, do this," or else.
Yeah, maybe.
That's one way if you couldn't figure it out, but that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And if Harley plays, who knows what's gonna happen? Possibilities are endless.
Maybe I'll catch the next
Maybe I
one.
got hopped up on fucking cocaine, and I was talking to some merc or whatever in an after party, and he was telling me about jobs. I was like, yeah, that sounds awesome. Yeah, he's doing the
Fuck
whole coke thing, and then I signed up for it on the phone. While I was already coked out, and I almost forgot about it, and I woke
Right.
up. Like, oh shit, what the
Like
hell did I sign up
he's
for?
there, he gets this call and he's like, "Oh, fuck that." And he's like, "Hey man, you want to do a job?" Yeah.
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 I
I
just
can do a
gotta
fucking job.
Zane is the corpo who works at the company, so he's basically blackmailed into it or just threatened. He just has to do it. His boss is telling him.
Yeah.
So he's probably the one you'd be in contact with. Jamie's a solo corporate bodyguard, and Colin's actually got a really interesting character. His background kind of fit together perfectly. He's like part of a crime lord family. And but it started out in some corporate research facility outside Night City. So he grew up in this rich corporate environment. But they were criminals. They were just selling shit or whatever. And then they got caught, and now they're on the run. And basically the equivalent of the FBI or some other national police force is hunting them down. So he's just looking for work to pay his bills, I think.
They've got the gazpacho coming after him.
Yes.
I've already seen 8 million different iterations of that joke on Reddit. I don't
8,000,001, baby.
Yay, let's go.
Topical fucking red versus blue humor. So tired of this shit.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, man.
You don't have to tell me anything.
So
I just gotta convince you guys to go get Chicago hot dogs with me because they were really good.
Where
I
are
mean,
they?
I'll go to Doggy Style with you, but I'll get a burger because it was amazing.
Nope. You're gonna get a Chicago hot dog.
I don't like
hot dog
Chicago
with me.
hot dogs.
Well, you don't know that yet.
I've had them and I don't like them.
You had a bad one.
I had it. Okay.
Was there poppy seeds in the bread?
Yes.
Was there peppers on it?
Yes.
Was there radioactively green relish on it?
Yes.
I think you're lying. I think you basically just had a hot dog with like a piece of lettuce on it, and you're like, "That's a Chicago hot dog." And
It wasn't even in the bun. It was just a big leaf of lettuce just set over the top of it.
Yeah, I'm down.
You had some stupid like fucking Caesar salad hot dog. You're like, yeah, that's a Chicago hot dog.
I opened up the box and it looked like somebody tried to draw a Chicago hot dog from memory, and
I'm not a big hot dog guy, but I'll do whatever.
I'm a big hot dog guy.
I'm a big hot dog.
When are we gonna do the hot pot?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't have the hot pot shit.
I mean,
Why you ask-
he has the hot
Why,
pot.
Yeah, I
why
have
are
the
you
hot pot
ask-
shit.
Why are you asking me?
We should do another hot pot.
I don't know. Yeah, we should.
Okay.
You could just say something like a day, and then I'll be like, all right, let's do it.
Okay, Can we like wait a week or something? Because
Yeah.
it's like I keep trying to get a bunch of work done, but everyone wants to hang out like one day after another, and it's like fuck, dude. Every single afternoon, it's just getting eaten up by other people.
I could also
Which is-
make it.
Fine, I shouldn't really be complaining about having friends, but like,
we could also actually just go to the hot pot place because all of their
Ah.
ingredients are superior, and we can
Yeah,
fight.
I'm kind
we
of broke
just
right now. I'd rather
gotta
you
get
just
better at
feed me
doing
with
it.
your own groceries.
We can fight a bitch for some marinated beef.
Just marinate our own, dude. I mean,
I was talking to some Chinese players in Eve, and I was describing this to them, this scenario using Google Translate poorly.
Mhm.
Fortunately, one of them knew English, so I stopped doing that and it made it a lot easier. But I described this whole scenario at the hot pot place. She's like, "That's so weird." It's like, why would white people not be able to handle marinated beef? I'm like, that's what I'm saying. Like, why was she doing this? She's like, I have no idea. It's like this isn't part of like some weird Chinese culture thing. And they're like, no, man. Of course we want you to eat. Of course we want you to buy the beef that we're selling. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
No, me and
that was
Don,
really weird.
me and Don did a
Yeah.
hot pot here, and we made our own marinated beef, but the beef that we got was like cheap, like carne asada, and so it had like a really weird flavor to it. We have a guest.
Well, look who's here.
It's Gabbo.
Hey guys, what's up?
Not
Better
much.
late than never.
Just chilling. Talking
You
about
guys look-
food.
You guys
Just-
are so professional.
That's the intention.
Well, it's mostly him that looks professional, and then by the cheerleader effect, we also look professional. But if you just
Yeah.
squint and you only see my camera, it doesn't look professional at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, Sam makes us look good.
I'm holding it up. My question is do you actually play that keyboard behind you, Ethan?
No, that's my dead uncle's keyboard. I haven't found a space for it yet.
I'd be jamming on that shit all the time.
Yeah, I would too.
Well, that would be trespassing, and I would shoot you.
Oh, yeah. There's that.
What food were
Oh.
you guys talking about?
Hot pot.
Hot pot.
Halta pata.
What the
I was-
fuck is hot pot? Is that
Oh
a
my
restaurant?
Well, yeah, it's like where you
Don't-
have
oh my
to
God, me, don't-
explain to
don't-
her.
Don't look at me like that. I don't appreciate that at all.
So you go into the restaurant, and then there's an induction stove on the table, and then they bring you a big giant pot of soup, and then you order ingredients, and then you put them in the soup, and then you take them out after an appropriate amount of time has passed, and then you eat them. And everybody
It's
just shares the same
fucking
giant bowl
amazing.
of soup. Yeah, it's incredible.
To be fair, I didn't know about it until last year.
Then why the
It's
fuck are you
it's like
cursing
wet
at me with
Korean
your face
barbecue.
then?
I don't know.
What?
You should know about
Because you're a woman.
it. You don't know, and you
I-
should know.
Because
It's
I
amazing.
own ovaries. Yeah, got it.
Yeah. That's the audacity of bringing that into our all-male chat room is,
Yeah, this is-
frankly profound.
You
to
know
be
what,
fair, it is
though?
named Dick Check Friday.
Yeah.
Well, someone's got to do the dick check.
Wow.
At least I'm not a white woman. I mean, at least I didn't bring that audacity to this.
I'm gonna get
That
banned
is
on
that
Twitch.
is that is a lot of
That's-
audacity. Yeah,
kinda my
get banned on your
idea.
first episode of the podcast. It's just getting banned.
I got a dog. Won't let go.
He's got you. It looks
I know.
like.
Oh, come up here.
Is that a dog?
That's hell yeah, it's a dog.
Yes, it's Doran.
Look at that dog. Oh, he's done.
He wasn't as
Exploded.
into it this time as he was the last time.
No, normally when I'm talking to the people, he gets really upset and just wants me to pay attention to him, but I guess he's getting used to it.
I would hang out with Thorin all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. Train him up pretty nice. Except when we go outside, he's I gotta work on that.
Yeah, he doesn't mind you yet. But
I
I,
just
mean, that's a hard breed. German shepherds are pretty
Yeah.
willful, so good luck.
Just gotta get him used to the commands. I'm just bringing him out slowly to the public, and because he won't pay attention to me at all. Like
Yeah,
everyone I
yeah.
talk to is like, "Oh, just bring food and feed him food. That way, when you're out, he's like looking at you." But my dog doesn't give a shit about food. You can like hold cake in front of his nose, and he's just like trying to get around it.
So the one thing I will tell you about German Shepherds is that you can't do the whole like I'm the alpha dog thing. Like they're just too willful. It doesn't work. You have to get them excited about following your orders because it's just a really cool thing to interest them. Like that's how you train a German Shepherd. Like you're not going to be able to be like, get over here now, and then like boss them around. They're just like, who the fuck are you? No, like that's what German Shepherds are like.
They're just like,
So-
get a load of this guy.
But they love to work. They love to work. So if you give them something to do, they will happily be loyal to you because they're like, oh boy, I want to make this guy happy. I want to do something cool. This is awesome. You know, like
Yep.
that's what they like. So
There was a couple times when he was growing up where he decided to test, what was going on, and he just tackled him.
Yep.
Didn't hurt him, just tackled him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would. I gave him a bone, and he took it off. And then when I went to go grab it, he growled at me and then ran away. And so I chased him around my backyard until I could actually jump on him.
yeah.
And he's cool after that. He's
Yeah.
like, "All right, you're in charge."
Yep.
Can you have
All right.
dogs there, Harley?
I do not. I only have a cat.
No,
He has a cat named Nimbus.
Can you have dogs? Or you just
Oh,
not a
can I
dog
have
person?
dogs? I can. I would have to get approved for it. I think I can only have one pet though.
He doesn't like dogs.
I don't dislike dogs. I just find them to like. I don't like having to take them out. Like I don't like that they drool all over the place. Even though my cat drools all over the place when he gets too comfortable. Like he's a normal cat most of the time, but he'll like get up on top of you and he'll just like once he starts purring, he has gotten too comfortable, and then like he'll rest his head on your hand and you'll be like, oh yeah, that's gross.
Oh,
My dog is
So-
like snoring so bad right now.
I can find that fucker.
such a blissful cat.
Thorn doesn't snore. He just farts.
My dog does
Yeah,
that.
he does.
too.
It's like when when they stretch, they put their front paws out. He farts 100% of the time when he does that.
When he does me and my boyfriend call that the good bow stance, where they're kind of like they put the front legs out and it's like they're bowing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Here he was,
Yep.
just
Look
sleeping
at
on the
that cat.
couch.
Nimbus.
Look at that kitty.
Nimbus. With his vacant stare.
Just staring off into space. No idea what's going on.
Just if you could do an audio playback of the inside of his head, it would just be static.
Mm-hmm.
Or like that scene from like Inside Out, where like the cat's like crawling all over the controls and just making it go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He does this
I
thing.
have a puppy cam. I just don't have it on. I should probably fix it.
What the hell is a puppy cam?
I got one of my other cameras pointed at where his bed would be over
Oh.
here, but he doesn't sleep in his bed, so it's.
That'd be like a camera specifically designed for small dogs.
I mean, any camera that
I was like, what would that mean?
can capture a dog. I mean, I could attach it to his head, but it would just be like him licking his nuts the whole time.
No,
That's what the people want.
the funny thing was this guy is whenever he actually wants to cuddle with you, which he doesn't seem to want to right now, but he'll like get up in your face and he'll just be like I want to touch your beard, and he'll just those little paws just reach up and.
I've only ever had one cat, and it never wanted anything to do with me unless it was hungry, its shit box was full, or it wanted me to.
Those are the you got a shitty cat. Those are the worst cats.
That was like, or if it wanted to be petted like aggressively, like it was never satisfied with just patting it. You had to like claw it, and then it would just get up and leave. Like, thanks.
I had a cat that knew her name and would come when you called her, no matter where you were in the house. Like if you're upstairs and across the hallway, it'd be like boo, and then you hear ding 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 ding. She'd run all the way from the other side of the house upstairs and down the hallway and be like, "What?" She was a black cat with a crooked tail. She was really cool.
And it would run into my door in the middle of the night at full speed.
Wow, that's a smart cat.
Yeah, it never got old.
I feed him as soon as I wake up in the morning, like right before I go to work. And so he's conditioned himself, like, if I hear my alarm clock go off, I'll hear like the thump and then like the because he makes like a meowing sound as he's going down the hall.
Wait,
But
what was that? Do that again.
it's like a sound that he makes. And then like I'll hit snooze on my alarm and then turn back over and fall asleep again. And then like then he'll come back and he'll make like the cat activation noise. He's like as he jumps up on the bed. And then he'll sit there until the alarm goes off again. Then I hear like the thump, and then he goes down the hall again, and like he's like conditioned himself that my alarm clock is when he gets fed.
Makes sense.
I've Pavloved my cat.
Doesn't take much.
I'm just amazed that Nimbus can learn things.
How old is Nimbus?
I got him in 2014, so he's like, well, it was like end of 2014, so he's like 7, 8-ish.
Was that
he's
the
got
one-
he's got a long life ahead of him.
Yeah, my previous cat was like 17 when he passed away.
Cats live to be like 13, 14 years old before they start, having like serious health problems. If you have like a pretty decent healthy cat.
Usually kidney
Some
problems.
cats as old as like 30 years old.
Yeah.
I got a friend who's got a 23-year-old cat. That's
Just-
a chill cat too.
Just living life.
It just sits in your lap and purrs.
Yeah.
Yeah, an unproblematic cat. Those are the ones that live the longest.
Yeah, my previous cat, like he was the best. He would be across the room and you could just look at him and he would just start purring. He was just happy that you looked at him. Like it was fantastic.
Where the fuck are the Freiburgers at?
I don't know. They were super gung ho about being here, and then here we are.
Being small-eyed and bald somewhere else, apparently.
Being fucking losers.
Jesus Christ, go for the throat. Small-eyed and bald, looking like a thumb.
Thumb-looking head ass.
What?
Spraying dead seeds over barren fields.
Oh,
Well,
boy.
now you're saying that the wife has the problem now?
I don't know. I can't remember who it was that said that.
Sounds like something Matt would say.
Yeah.
He's all about the Midwest vibes. Anytime he can bring it up,
Yeah.
he's inserting it into the conversation somehow.
By the way, did you know that it snows here in the Dakotas? Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's-
yes,
I'm
Matt, we did.
pulled over because it's 65-mile-per-hour winds. It's windy out here.
It's fucking windy.
Yeah, and we're here in the Tri-Cities, like we've never heard of fucking wind before.
Yeah.
We live in
Like-
a wind tunnel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A
Like, as
basin,
if
if
we
you
have-
will.
Haven't seen established trees be completely ripped out of the ground.
I used to live in a trailer park at the corner of where a street just comes down straight at my house, and it would just blast the side of our house, and you could feel the house shake.
I guess
you-
Thick Burger is on a cruise with his girlfriend, and Thin Burger is snowmobiling in Montana.
What's the third burger?
The third burger would just be Sad Burger. I don't know. Depressed
Thick
burger.
Thin burger, sad burger.
Yeah.
Oh man. Do you have any brothers or sisters, Harley?
I have a half brother and a half sister that I haven't seen in decades.
No. So only child life.
Pretty much. It explains my raging selfishness.
What the hell is sharing?
Yeah.
I don't like sharing food. Ethan doesn't share food. I'd
Oh my
rather just
God. He got
I'd rather
into,
just
like-
buy you. I'd rather just buy you some fries. Like that. That's what's gonna happen. So
he got into like a conversation about food in my office the other day too, because Dawn was talking about how she knows how to like set him off or like make him mad now. He was showing me all of his like reviews that he's left on food sites
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
So Dawn
shit.
Dawn was surprised the first time she saw me get mad about something, because when I'm hanging out with her, I'm having a good time, so I'm just never angry. But then Taco Bell fucked up our DoorDash order, and I was just like livid because I hate it whenever my food order gets fucked up.
I can tell you something about Taco Bell DoorDash.
Mhm.
The fucking order screens are so insanely stupid.
Mhm.
For both the people trying to make the food and like the DoorDash driver. Like, if I'm delivering like Taco Bell, there's fucking no way I can check your food, right?
Mhm.
Because every single ingredient I'm supposed to check for, instead of being like taco and large drink full of Coke or whatever, it's like, please make your choice. Vegetable item, tomato, and it's like 50 of them. And every ingredient for every single taco is on there, and I'm like, what am I looking at? And it's like, it's like an entire novel of irrelevant information. Every single line says choose your next ingredient.
Hmm.
So it's just instead of the ingredients, it's just choose your next ingredient, choose your next ingredient, choose your next, choose your next, and then they list every single fucking sauce packet you've ever gotten. Not like one sauce packet and then times 10. It's like all of them,
Yeah.
and it is the most. I'll send a screenshot next time I get one, but it's like the most absurd shit you've ever seen.
No, there was one time that I ordered Red Robin and I ordered mozzarella
Oh,
sticks
no.
and I ordered like
Red Robin's the worst.
I ordered 4 cups of ranch with it and no marinara. Hold the marinara. I don't
remember
want that
this.
shit.
I
And
remember this.
yeah, and but I'm gonna tell it anyway because the chat doesn't remember this. But yeah, so I got it and I got marinara and I got ketchup and I got no ranch. And so I complained about it on the Red Robin app. I ended up getting refunded $8, or on the DoorDash app, and I was refunded $8, which was impressive to me. And so I immediately put in another order for 1 small order of fries and 10 cups of ranch. And I ended up only getting like 4 cups of ranch, but it was enough for my now cold mozzarella sticks once it finally got to me. But yeah, it pisses me off when they get my order wrong.
The worst ones to order from in the Tri-Cities is like Red Robin, Wild Taco, Denny's.
I had a ranch issue with Denny's as well.
Yeah, Taco Bell can be problematic sometimes. Trying to think of the other really bad ones. There are Sterling's. Never get Sterling's. Everyone knows they suck, so you only get stupid drivers that go there. So you're automatically going to have like a driver who can't figure anything out. Pacific Pasta in Richland.
Their food is bad anyway.
Yeah, but they treat drivers like shit, so don't order from them. The best ones is like fucking Woo's Teriyaki is on the ball.
Mhm.
Subway is obviously always on the ball.
It's pretty consistent.
Chipotle, yeah.
Oh, man,
McDonald's
Chipotle
is
sounds
really good.
I ordered
Uh,
DoorDash for the first time in my life, like when I was on COVID.
How was it?
Uh,
Is that your dog snoring?
That's the dog.
Yeah, that's 100% my dog snoring.
I
Did
told
you
myself
bring
I
the-
would never do it again.
what did you order?
Well, it wasn't a bad experience or anything. I just hate it when people deliver my food for me.
Yeah, that wasn't the question.
Yeah, what did you order?
Chipotle.
Oh, Chipotle is one of the best ones though.
Yeah, what?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
what?
They
how
came
much-
with my food. It was there.
Oh,
How
you
much
just
oh.
didn't like it?
No, I hate having other people do that for me. I just want to go out and do it myself. It's not even about money.
Hmm.
I don't know, it's weird.
I will do it because I live in Benton City, and sometimes I don't want to fucking spend 40 minutes driving for a sandwich, you know?
Mm.
And it's like,
Yeah, you're paying for convenience.
Yeah.
It's not unheard of.
but if I'm living in Richland, then I'm just gonna go down to the store and get it myself because I'm already almost there, you know?
Have you had
But-
Safeway's breakfast burritos?
No, it's probably good though.
They're delicious.
It's
If
not hard to make
The
up a
person
breakfast
making them knows how to make a breakfast burrito, because sometimes you have to sit there and teach them how to do it.
Have you guys had Taco Bell breakfast? Like the breakfast
Yes.
crunch wrap and that kind of stuff? That shit's amazing.
burrito. You know what also has really good breakfast is Burger King.
Really?
Oh yeah, they got a good breakfast. In fact, I don't know why McDonald's has been the standby for breakfast for me for so long when everyone does breakfast better than them.
Yeah.
And
Because they
it's-
put fucking like heroin in their egg McMuffin. Are you joking me? That is like the gold standard.
It's not good,
Well,
it's just
yeah.
addictive.
The only thing I'll eat from there.
like the McGriddle, like that shit is like this is so bad for me, but goddamn.
Yeah, like you can feel it clogging your arteries by the second, but like the dopamine that it gives your brain, you're just like, I don't give a shit. I'll die right here.
Ride it all day.
I'll die. I'll die happy.
You know what I miss that they only did for like 3 months, like over a decade ago, was the freaking McSkillet. Loved that
Oh
thing.
yeah, I totally forgot
Mm.
about that. A national treasure, that one.
Mhm.
Ooh, if you're ever in Benton City, which I don't know why you would ever do that, but if you go down to the Conoco, the wings there are some of the best wings I've ever had. And it's just gas station wings.
Didn't you say that
They are-
Shell station next to you has like really good food?
I don't have a Shell station next to me. I have a Conoco station next to me,
Well,
sir.
I thought
And that's
that-
what I'm talking about.
I
So
thought there
yes,
was. a
Is it
Shell
the one right
station
down
on
the
your
road
side
from
of
the
the
subway?
freeway.
No, not that one. That one's got decent, or that one's got mediocre food. It's the one. It's by the roundabout as you're coming off the
Oh,
highway.
the Cougar Cafe or whatever the fuck
Yeah,
it's called.
Cougar Cafe, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, the other gas station, which is a Desert Sun Mart or whatever, or Sun Mart. That one also has good food. It has good pizzas and
Like that
really
one's
good burritos.
the new one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the weirdest thing about Tri Cities is like our gas stations just have good food for some reason, like good shitty, like bad for you food. Like greaseball food.
Yeah,
But like you go over to Seattle, they don't have that at all. Like they never serve like hot food at the gas stations.
yeah, the Rocket Mart next to where Klein Computer was, like I would eat lunch there almost every day. Like their hot food was freaking amazing. And it's just I don't know why, it just tastes good.
When I lived in Michigan, we never had that either. So when I first came to the Tri Cities, I was like, "What the fuck? They're selling hot food at a gas station?" But yeah, that's I guess that's just a Tri Cities thing because it's just every single gas station has hot food.
It's one of our few cultural values here.
Hey
Hot
man,
food
I've
is-
known several people who lived off that shit, especially out there in like West Richland.
Dude, I kind of do live off that shit. It's
I mean,
it's
technically,
not
when I was in
bad.
the Marines, I lived out of a convenience store gas station, but it was.
I've
nice
never
and
gotten food poisoning, so
most of it is questionable if it's even food or not. Engineered to taste like it, though.
I think these are just myths that we make up about food because like the ego hit of eating out of a gas station, like it's probably fine.
I mean, you could probably leave the food outside, and it'll never go bad.
No, I mean I'm sure it's probably just regular food,
Yeah.
and they just microwave it or they fry it, and then that's it. Like I think it's the same as what you would get out of a grocery store or whatever. The food is fine. It's just we just make up these stories because it's a gas station and it's fun to
Yeah.
think about it like that. Although there is definitely risky food at gas stations, and that is the nacho cheese that you dispense out of like the big old
At like
box.
7-Eleven.
Oh man, don't ever eat that.
Me and
That stuff will kill you.
well, I've eaten so much nacho cheese from 7-Eleven, you have no idea. But
He's
me
immune.
and Sean from work have a running joke about like it's like, oh, let's go across the street to 7-Eleven, grab a big gulp and just fill that sucker with nacho cheese, and that's our meal for the night.
Oh, just eating spoofs. Nacho cheese.
Just sucking it through a straw.
Oh, I have a really pressing question about a restaurant in Benton City. There is a Mexican restaurant as you're going into Benton City, and it's like the Los Volcanoes or something like that.
Mhm.
Have you eaten there? What's the story about that? I mean, does it just give you the shits the next day? Like, I need to know. I've never eaten there.
Mind your own business. No, I've never eaten there either because like almost every restaurant is a Mexican place in Benton City, and I rarely like crave Mexican food because I always like, why am I paying $12 for beans? Like it's just it doesn't sit right with me as far as like the value of it goes.
I mean,
It tastes fine, it tastes good. It's just like I like taco trucks a lot. But like when I go to a Mexican place and it's like, here's rice and beans and cheese, please give us $16, and it's like, I feel like I'm being ripped off here. I don't. Yeah.
I mean, I get
Well,
Hacienda
my
del
back
Sol
is fucking killing me, so I'm gonna go lay down.
calling it.
Yeah, I'm distracted now, so I'm not talking because I'm just like, man, I want to go lay down.
All right. Well, this has been the inaugural episode of Dick Check Friday.
I mean, you guys can keep going if you want. I'm just kidding.
No, that's a good way to call it because I got to do some programming and stuff. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
and the
inaugural.
soul of the chat is leaving.
Yeah. Right.
If Harley's the heart and I'm the
Ethan,
brains,
what the
of
hell
course.
happened to you? And why is Harley gray?
is that
That's just how his hair looks now.
Bye, Sam.
Ethan, what the hell happened to me? Who said that?
It's your mom.
Kawaii Elder God.
that's Jamie, I think.
Jamie. What do you mean? What the hell happened to me?
All right. Goodbye. I'm going now. Toodles.
See you later.
Later.